What is up, party people? Happy Monday. It's weird. It's only a half day for me, but I still have to do a show. It's odd because
so that means you weren't up in the middle of the night.
No, I took the morning off. We had to go run some errands, get the oil change. Do you want to check this out about the oil change?
Got to do that stuff, yeah.
And they're checking everything. They're making sure that the lights work, that the battery, that the blinkers work, that everything, the tail, all of that stuff. And I said, "What's up with that?" He goes, a lot of people be getting pulled over later, and we'll make sure you're okay because people getting pulled over everywhere here, because of what's going on. I said, oh.
They're supposed to be checking that anyway.
That's what I thought, but that's why they said I've had him check some stuff, but never like this. They went through it like as thorough as you could get.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. Stuff. My goodness me. So it was interesting, though. It was interesting, going out there doing there's a sense out there that, look at this, the ISIS. How many people have they gotten? Was it 600?
Let's see. 100? They've had, last I saw was at least 600 traffic stops and 100 detained.
Not all of them were here illegally. Some were detained because they were warrants, drunk, things like that.
Yeah. Well, the Highway Patrol, it's like there's two separate statistics. The Highway Patrol is releasing who they have arrested and for what. We don't know who the ICE detainees are. Or exactly what their charges are, but apparently the reports is that the people that were detained could not show that they were here legally and have been taken to the Louisiana immigration facility where that's all being fleshed out.
Yeah.
But we still don't know who they are or exactly what the reason is for their, whether or not they had an actual, removal order or that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, I've said this and I'll say it again. Do we want to get the worst first? Of course we do. But everybody's come here knows there will always an opportunity of the knock at the door.
Yes.
Always know that there's an opportunity. Now, in other times when ICE wasn't around, pulled these people over, they'd have told them, hey, you got a light out. Get it fixed, and they move on with their life.
Right.
It's different right now.
Yeah.
That's it. And is it going to be like this forever here? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to have this for a few weeks and months, and then off they'll go because we're still limited. At the end of the day, we're still limited in how many people we have working for ICE. But there was always that opportunity that you could get in trouble. That was never not there.
That's why I say, man, if you are here on a green card or a visa or something like that, have that documentation on you.
Yeah.
Have it on you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, at any given time, it could happen. And then, I was watching some of the reports this weekend, the one in Fox where they're down there and people say that nobody's coming to work now.
Yeah.
So we had to close the business. Really? Really? That's it? Well, it's what they're telling us. I'm like, nope. I gave somebody a drink, and then I realized nobody works here but me. So I had to close the whole place down. So you didn't realize before that, and nobody showed up. Like, they act like ICE is undercover cover inside the kitchens.
Right. They're going to come out of the cabinets.
Just when you thought you were going to make somebody a pizza, we got you.
You open the walk-in fridge, and there's an ice guy there.
There's literally ice.
Ice
That's
guy.
where they're keeping everybody ice.
Going to jump out from behind the fountains.
It is, yeah. It's so, but I get it. Look, do I get it? Yes. And Democrats out there, you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. You allowed so many people to come here that even people who were like, well, I don't want to throw everybody out, were like, nope, this is ridiculous. You did this to you. Remember that. As you do it. I was looking at, Afton went out there this weekend. As did several. Did you see her video?
I didn't see it.
It's pretty funny. She got pulled over.
She got pulled over?
I'm like, she didn't get pulled over by ICE. No, she got pulled over by, THP. And they were like, they gave her a citation for something. And I think she
was she recording it?
Yeah, she ran a red light. She ran a red light. And they said that, they were out there following ICE. First of all, who's got that kind of time?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go follow ICE? No, I don't, actually.
When she comes in again, we got to ask her about it.
Yeah. Look.
This is what, I mean, Democrats see this as a way to, I mean, as we know, they are grabbing for something to carry in to the midterms. They're waiting on the economy to tank.
Yeah.
And this is something else that they can grab onto and hopefully try to convince people that people are being dragged out of their homes and, blindfolded and put into these vans.
And they're deporting American citizens,
right.
If you're brown, they're catching you and throwing you out of here. That's the thing they go for all the time. And look, do I want to get the worst first? Yes. Even Trump has mentioned, if you've been here for a while, there may be a way that we got to figure out how we can keep some people here. I get that because he's going to get it also from big business. You know that. But the reality is, you guys did this to yourself, Democrats. You allowed a guy who was feeble to pretend that the border could never be secure and allowed God knows how many people really in there when you count in the gotaways and whatnot. And they're desperate for something. They've got nothing. And this is great theatrics, right? Going into an ICE detention and falling over like you've been shot. Oh, my God. And them taking you. They're all hoping to get arrested because it looks good. It looks good on your resume of theatrics.
Yeah.
And, like you said, they're hoping and waiting that the economy may collapse because which is a weird thing to say, that we want our country to suffer.
Right.
So your team can get in power.
Yes.
Which is insane. Now they're hoping that, let's say, if none of these things happen, there's always that Hail Mary that they're going to do something stupid with Medicare and Medicaid.
Right.
And then, it's like, this is insane. But this is the best theatrics they have right now. And listening to Freddie, gosh, it's so tough. How does that look, right? If you're here, even if you're here legally and you got in trouble, you're naturalized citizens. And you're out there watching people who are here illegally, and you're like, we're going to set up a fund. This should be called the We Hate Trump Fund. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
It would be, we hate Trump. He's the worst. And as I said the other day, and I continue to say this, if Trump embraced everybody that came here illegally, which is what he should do, therefore the Democrats would then do what? Want to deport everybody.
It would be opposite.
Reverse psychology. Hey, I'm going to get them to think that I'm here, and I'm going to give everybody a pathway to citizenship. And then what's going to happen is they're going to build a wall bigger than we've ever seen, and they're going to deport everybody tomorrow.
Well, and, if I'm not mistaken, President Obama, I think, still holds the record on deportations.
Yeah, 3 million.
And there was never any, question.
No. So his deportations were really interesting because his deportations were all border-based for the most part, like 90%. Yeah. You came across the border, they took your information, they turned around and put you on the other side. That was it. If you were here for longer than 2 years, that is when the due process thing came in.
Yeah.
But if they caught you within a certain amount of mileage between the border, man, he boomeranged everybody. Back you go. Barack the Boomerang Obama. Back you go. That's what he was all about. And he didn't care because he realized this was not a winning argument.
Right.
It wasn't.
And he's the one who built the so-called cages.
Yes, those cages.
They became cages under the first Trump administration.
They were. Before they weren't. But then they became cages. Oh. It was, again, it's all theatrics. That's the thing that frustrates. Nobody's serious about getting anything done. That's the thing. I mean, we're on the same team. 80% of us believe in mostly the same stuff. We may want to get to the same area a little bit different, but we believe it's just theatrics, right? Like today, you know what nobody's talking about? The lower prescription prices that Trump's pushing. That will play a bigger role in people's life than you can realize.
Absolutely.
I was watching a movie yesterday, and it was from a few years ago, but this girl was trying to get insulin, and her prescription wasn't ready yet, but she needed it bad, and it was like $300.
Goodness.
Right? And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, that's what it's like, depending on what you get. These things matter.
Yeah.
The cost of stuff like this matters on a daily basis. All the other stuff is, yes, immigration's important. And we still, by the way, even if he deports a lot of people, we still don't have a real immigration bill that's right. We don't have anything that is going to set the tone for what's going forward in the future. Because as you and I have talked about, Ken, just like with abortion, man, you don't want to give this one up too.
That's right. I mean, both sides have had their opportunities to codify their big issues.
Yeah, totally.
And they haven't done it.
Yeah. Oh, God. How many times have you said, like, whether it's taxes, abortion, immigration, you can go on and on. Every time they've got something that they could get done, because you only get one usually. You get one big thing, and then usually you lose the midterms, and then you have to negotiate.
Right.
So every time, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they've had opportunities to fix any of those things, to codify those things, to put stuff out there that's real, and they never do it.
Yeah, if it's that big of a deal, if it's that scary, when you have that opportunity, when you've got the majorities where you need them, then why not do it?
I don't know.
And I think it's because they're great tools for getting elected.
They're money raisers.
Yeah.
Man, I've always said this. I can't go – if everything's good, I can't go to the people and say, look, they're the boogeyman for real. You need to hire – I'm the only one that could fight the boogeyman. If you're like, this boogeyman's pretty cool. Kept my taxes low. Everything seems to be going smooth. Life is good. Man, I'm sorry. It's hard. Batman needs Joker.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And that's what they give each other. And these are the things they fight at. So silly. So silly. We're going to talk about the fact that we're getting a free plane from Qatar. And by us, I mean Trump.
I'm going to let Darren fly it. He's really good.
You guys recognize that's ridiculous, right? Like everybody out there recognizes, like, even Chris is like, I hope he's just as a negotiator. I'm negotiating for what? I think Trump got the negotiation part he wants. You guys are going to be a $400 million plane for free? Okay.
I'm going to offer people rides in it when it becomes a library.
And then it's going to go to a library. But here's the thing. You're not going to take a brand new airplane and just put it in the library and let it sit there. Trump's going to use the hell out of that thing. It's fun. I'm taking books to people. It's my mobile library book. Take her. Oh, my goodness me.
Some books won't be allowed, though. Yeah, the books.
Some will, some won't. Insulin. I'm a type 2, and I just spent $600 on mine. That's with the discount. It's insane. Yet across the border in Canada, it's like a nickel. That's the stuff that pisses people off.
A lot of that's got to do with tax subsidies, though.
Well, it does have to do with it, but also because we don't allow the stuff that the rest of the world allows, right? Like they only take certain things in the rest of the world and they give it to them cheap, where we pay not just going rates. We pay manufacturer rate plus.
What I don't understand is how is insulin not a generic at this point? There should be multiple companies producing that.
That's big pharma.
Yeah.
The big pharma doesn't want there to be.
All they have to do is change one molecule and they get their patent reapproved.
That is why, and I got a cool story we'll talk about in a little bit. A lot of fun stuff to talk about there. A lot of stuff that could be serious. Probably not. By the way, I've seen the guys cutting their eyelashes off. Creepy as can be.
What's going on with that? Why are people doing that?
We call that the Marilyn Manson look. Yeah,
it's very interesting why they're doing. We'll talk about that. Bunch of other stuff to get to. If you're missing the show, we say shame on you. Grab the podcast. Shame. Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 987. Oh, kids, let's talk about it. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega 3, 6, 9, all this awesome stuff put into your dog's supplement that you give them once a day. It's a scoop. They love the taste. You'll love what it does for them. They have a version for cats, too, but try Rough Greens right now. Get a Jumpstart trial bag for free. It's a $20 value. All you have to do is cover the cost of shipping. Take the 90-day challenge. Over the next 90 days, you'll see improvement in their coat, an improvement in their energy levels, better immune system, digestive tract improvement, heart health. It's like you're getting a whole new dog. And over the next 90 days, you watch what happens. One scoop a day, that's it. Your dog will absolutely love what it does for the taste for them. You'll love what it does for their body. Try it now. Go to roughgreens.com/Chad. Use my code Chad. Roughgreens.com/Chad. Use code Chad.
Metro Police say a man wanted for attempted murder has been critically injured in an exchange of gunfire with officers. We'll tell you about it coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Speaking of drugs, have you guys heard about the new sleep pill? It's called the Besant.
An agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially move down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%.
Every time I look at him, I just think, is that Will Ferrell playing some sort of character, right? Hey, guys, how are you? It's me, Scott Besant.
Will Ferrell would be the one if anybody ever played a Treasury Secretary. He would be the one.
How excited are we, huh? I don't know what these tariffs are going to look like. I don't know what it looks like. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
If we believe China is all of the things, right there, they're evil. Their goal is to build a world designed to look just like China, where there's central government control with less freedoms, but some economic opportunity, where everybody gets free stuff, but it really comes at the price of your soul. And that we think they'd like to dominate the world. The fact that we're participating in any conversation, to me, is bizarre. If that's what we think they really are. Or if we think that maybe Xi is much sicker and that he is on limited time and the people behind him may be more open to stuff, okay. But I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure. We'll see what this looks like because everything is always a negotiation. Why are people cutting? So check this out. I was looking as apparently guys are cutting their eyelashes.
Yeah.
Because they think it makes them look more manly because long eyelashes make them look feminine. Said what?
Cutting eyelashes.
Yeah. I saw, like, there's videos, like, mewing. Do you know what mewing is? Mewing's where you break parts of your face, like guys will do it at home.
Yeah.
To try to reshape their jaw and their chin so they can have that look like they're Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
People are weird.
People are sad.
Yes, they are.
You know what, guys? We could give you, what was that TV show that used to get the whole makeover? Like your face, like Ugly Duckling or whatever.
Oh, what was that?
Oh, remember that show?
Something
Yes.
Swan or
Yeah, something like that. And have, has anybody thought about, hey, you know what? Pete Davidson. That's all you got to say, guys. Right? Pete Davidson. Like, what does he do? He listens, he makes him laugh, and he texts him back. That's his secret. Oh, wow. That's crazy. The fact that you would break, because people are breaking their face with hammers to redo their own stuff.
To try to get high cheekbones and jawlines.
Yeah. They're cutting their eyelashes because they think it looks more manly. What the hell is wrong with you? Honest to God, what is wrong with you? I trim my eyelashes so my eyeballs look bigger. Shut up, Jason. You do not. Because I want to look like an anime character. Oh, dude, are you ready? Are you ready for this, guys?
Great.
Breaking news. Prosecution calls first witness in the Combs trial.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who? Are they saying?
They're not saying yet. And we're not going to be in there. That's the weird thing. Us being us. But, like anybody. It's only because it's federal stuff. There's no cameras.
Oh, so we're going to have to rely on artists.
Yeah, guy who draws stuff. Guy.
Artist renderings at the end of the day, just like back when we were growing up.
That's right. So that's, man. They said they can't find the key witness. Has not been located. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have you checked the bottom of the sea?
Interesting.
I'm just saying, if we honestly think he killed Biggie and Tupac, him killing some nobody.
Dredge the Hudson.
Wow. Yeah, this thing, man, I'm telling you, this trial, the people that could have to take the stand.
So when you go look at Epstein, right? Epstein was a lot of powerful people that most people outside of a few you couldn't recognize. This is all super famous people.
Yes.
And famous people, by the way, who are being called not because they did anything, but because they saw something.
And people, as you said, who have scrubbed their social media.
Oh, goodness me. Somebody's going down. That's the whole thing you and I have talked about. Like, is he just want to burn down the house?
I mean, he may be just, you know what? He may be at the point where I'm going down, you're coming with me.
That's right. Who could it be? That's what you got to think about. Like, who could it, some of the names you've heard. Al B. Sure. What did he say? Al B. Sure said that he
he thinks that Diddy is responsible for somebody's death. And I can't remember who it was. It was a woman, either one of Diddy's ex-girlfriends or somebody like that. And Al B. Sure is all about testifying against Diddy.
Oh, man. So there's some payback out here, too. There is. Al B. Sure is going to say, I think you're going to jail for night and day. Yes, you're going to jail. Coming up, we'll talk a little about the pharma thing because I think it's a big deal. We've got a bunch of other stuff as well. If you're missing the show, grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now, a man wanted for attempted murder has been critically injured during an exchange of gunfire with Metro police officers. This happened on the Division Street Bridge, not far from us, boys. One officer grazed on the leg. The suspect has been transported to the hospital with what police call critical injuries. And apparently, police have recovered a semi-automatic pistol they say that this person was armed with. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. U.S. stocks are soaring on word that the U.S. and China have paused massive tariffs for 90 days, basically going back to where both sides were in February. And as President Trump travels to the Middle East today, Idan Alexander, the last living American hostage held in Gaza, has been released following direct U.S. negotiations with Hamas. Here's Selena Wang at the White House.
Trump officials see this as a gesture of goodwill towards the United States, with President Trump saying he sees this as a step in good faith towards ending this broader conflict. We're told that this deal came together in the last couple of days and that all of the officials involved were really holding their breath until the last moment, until they saw that official announcement from Hamas.
Right now in Tennessee, the Nashville Rescue Mission confirms one of its employees, 44-year-old Cedric Wilson, was shot multiple times as he was leaving work at the Lafayette Street location overnight. The Metro Nashville Police Department identifying the suspect as 29-year-old Tadarius Hunt, whom the rescue mission claims had threatened Wilson after Wilson asked everyone to leave the day room yesterday so it could be cleaned. And a small pest posting a major threat to American agriculture. ABC's Jim Ryan tells us why the Department of Agriculture's halted cattle imports from Mexico.
With its tiny mouth hooks, the New World screwworm latches onto the mucous membranes of cattle, sheep, and goats. It can kill an adult cow in under 2 weeks. A 1976 infestation took out 1.4 million cattle here in Texas. Now the parasite has again made its way north through Mexico. The Agriculture Department has halted all imports of live horses, cattle, and bison across the southern border. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
For this week, I'm WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Stefano DiPietro. Wet start to our Monday with a few showers and some rumbles of thunder, so we'll have more showers and storms develop this afternoon into the evening, so keep the umbrella handy. We're in the 70s for today, a break in the rain tonight. 10 seconds. Tomorrow morning, then more showers and storms develop tomorrow afternoon and evening. We're still in the 70s, 80s, and near 90. Wednesday and Thursday, we should get some brief dry time before more rain and storms before the end of the week.
It was the great Milli Vanilli that said, blame it on the rain. And then we found out that they didn't sing that song. But you know what? You can blame it on the rain when it comes to stuff that happens inside your house. Cracks right there, things with your foundation. You know what I'm talking about? Your crawl space. Don't let it be a nightmare. USS is here to help. A rescue indeed. So what I want you to do is you got any issues, whether you think maybe during the winter, maybe your pipe's got a couple leaks, maybe there's a couple cracks that you haven't done anything with, and it's getting ugly in there, have USS come out. 30 years of experience, basement crawl space waterproofing, basement wall stabilization, foundation repair. You get where I'm going with this. They're there to help. Inspections, absolutely free, and they're not going to sell you anything you don't need. Little things can become big things if we don't take care of them. Mold, wood rot, you name it, it can happen. So this is what I want you to do. Call them today. Say, hey, I got some issues. I'm worried about some of the rain. I don't need this to get worse. 615-488-7855. 615-488-7855. Or check everything out they do online at USSTN.com. You want to know what's wrong with people? It's simple. It's a look at me world. And I say that because as we're talking about guys mewing, which is where you try to shape your face on your own, because nothing says fixing your issues at home better than a hammer so you could have better cheekbones, right? Because what could go wrong? How about this lady?
Have you ever heard of an ambulatory wheelchair user?
No, nobody has. You wait, your body parts work and you just want to roll around? I feel like you are fishing for something.
This is someone who has use of their legs, but still chooses to use a wheelchair sometimes. Just because I'm using a wheelchair here doesn't mean that I was paralyzed, but rather that I'm choosing to use it in order to mitigate painful symptoms that come from standing and walking for a prolonged period of time. I think a lot of people look at me using the wheelchair and think, oh, that's so sad, but rather it's quite the opposite. I'm able to go out and do things and have a life that I wouldn't normally be able to if I didn't have the wheelchair. So if you see a wheelchair user out in public, don't stare at them, don't entirely avoid eye contact with them, and don't talk to the person they're with as if they're not there. Treat them like you would normally. And don't ask them why they're in the wheelchair. If you wouldn't ask a walking person about their medical history, why should you ask a wheelchair user about their medical history? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
So I just want to get this right. There's nothing wrong with you. You just get tired and your feet hurt. So you decide then to draw attention to yourself by rolling around in a wheelchair as if. That's a mental illness. It is. Have you guys ever seen, there is a documentary out about people who believe they're amputees? It is scary.
They believe they are?
So they believe they're amputees, and they will go so far as to pack their legs in dry ice or their arms in dry ice so it decays, and then it gets frostbite, and then they have to have their legs amputated or arms amputated.
What in the world?
That's
Wow.
a mental illness.
Yes, sir.
You pretending to be. Now, if you're at Disneyland and you're like, I just need to get on these damn rides. Okay, I get it. But that doesn't work anymore. They've seen past that. But what's next? Somebody's going to get into a wheelchair and have the little thing that they blow into so they can drive around because they believe they're paraplegic? This is what's wrong with our the young people today. Not all of them, but a lot of them. It's a look at me world. That's what happens. And just like with politics, you have to be loud as can be. It's the same thing with something like this. You have to be so much different. It's not just, oh, I'm tired, I need to sit on the bench. No, I need to roll around. And I like the part where she says, don't look at people in a wheelchair, but don't not look at them. What am I supposed to do? Because I get it with my little brother. My little brother's going to come out here eventually, and I'm going to post some pictures. This guy is all wheelchaired up. Like he got a special wheelchair. Trach tube, the whole 9 yards. I mean, we zoom him around in it. It's hilarious. People look at him because he looks like a transformer that broke. Right? Like it's weird. He's got all these tubes and everything. And we always tell people, don't be afraid to ask what's wrong with him. What's wrong with him? You got time? Like a lot. But he's happy. There's no doubt about that, man. I tell you what. Speaking of happy, Ken, my wife said yesterday, it's Mother's Day. She said, what do you want? Because I want you to sit down here and watch Love on the Spectrum with me.
There you go.
I loved it.
Did you do it?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
And then I got sucked into the damn thing.
It will, man. I love those people.
You know, who was it? Shane Gillis, the comic, said. Oh, it's like he was talking about people. He's talking about his cousins got Down syndrome. But this goes, I think, for a vast majority of people on the spectrum. How are they doing? They're doing great. They got smiles on their face most of the time. They're happy as can be. Because these are high-functioning people. But, oh, Mike, and you can't not but, like you said, you can't not but love them.
Right.
You can't. And the guy that's like, what are you going to do on your first date? He goes, I don't know, but I know you can't tickle him.
You're terrible.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
His name's Tanner. He goes, I don't know, Mom, but I know I can't tickle him. And I'm like,
That
you know what?
sounds like something you would make up.
It does. But it wasn't. It wasn't. I tell you what, it was just crazy.
Well, yeah, because some on the spectrum, they don't want to be touched.
No, they don't.
I mean, it can really impact them in a very negative way.
Yeah, and you find out, like, some of them are just, they've got autism. But then some of them, like one guy, he sees in colors and he tastes in numbers. I don't know what that is.
Interesting.
Right? Like, that's just an interesting thing.
How's your lasagna? Tastes like a 7.
Tastes like a 7, right? Tastes like a 7. Smells like orange. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just, but Some of them, and the recall is amazing. And some of them, again, like you said, they don't like to be touched. And they're just some things they just don't like, right? Like one guy is terrified. He just doesn't like dogs. So if you have a pet, you're never going to date him. Like that's a big thing. Even if your neighbor has a pet and he can hear it. But, like my little brother, one of my little brothers is like that. Like he's got his, and my stepdaughter, who's really my daughter, I love her to death. She's 16. She has that kind of, the food can't touch. There's just certain things that, she likes, and that's it. And when she finds something she likes, she's on it. Godzilla. She was on with Godzilla. She lived for Godzilla. So, Trump talking about stuff that matters for real. Like this stuff with China, we'll see what it looks like because this is obviously not an overnight thing. And by the way, people want to know, I heard Dan talking about a little bit this morning, how long this stuff takes to ramp up. It's going to take a while. So we will feel a little bit of something, but it's not going to be forever. But it's a 90-day pause, and it'll take another 30 days to ramp some of this stuff up. But the things that mattered to me early on is the lower cost of health. And I've heard from you guys out there. It is the cost of drugs. And as he said earlier, Bell, we'll call him Bell, Headless, talked about patent. So I have a friend. She works for a big pharma company, and her job, she'll tell you, it's research and development is important, but you know what's really important? Finding already good drugs that will do something else where you can then change the name and get the patent extended. That's super important for a lot of people.
One breast cancer drug costs Americans over $16,000 per bottle, but the same drug from the same factory, manufactured by the same company, is 1/6 that price in Australia.
Yeah, because Australia sets those rates. If you want to sell in our country, because we know it's safe. Here's the thing. We're the gold standard. So if you get through our FDA, we're the gold standard. The rest of the world's like, okay. The thing is, they will pick and choose what they want to allow in, and they'll set the price. You want to know why everybody's got free health care? Well, there's a lot of things. One of it is because we pick up a lot of other people's health care.
We're going to pay what Europe's going to pay. We're going to all pay. Now, there may be some countries in dire need, and I would be willing to sacrifice that and help them. But it's called most favored nation. We are going to pay the lowest price there is in the world.
Amen. As we should be, because we already pay the highest price in other ways because of weapons.
Today, Americans spend 70% more for prescription drugs than we spent in the year 2000. Think of that.
That is insane. The amount of money we spend. Like I said, I had several people already chime in about how expensive their insulin was, even with discounts. It is crazy how expensive stuff is.
Especially insulin, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the difference between life and death.
It's exactly it. It is the difference. And so my grandmother was a type 2 diabetic, and she was what they call a brittle diabetic. So she could be 100, like her insulin, it would have been perfect, her score. Mm-hmm. She could have woke up at midnight, and it could have been at 6. No matter everything she did correctly, which ended up eventually costing her legs and then her life.
Yeah.
But there's some things that if you didn't have that insulin, it's over.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's it. Like you said, this isn't about ED medicine or pregnancy medicine or Plan B.
Diet.
This is about stuff that is truly life or death. People shouldn't have to make decisions on keeping their lights on and getting insulin. They shouldn't. And why is it just like with healthcare, guys, why is it that, wait a minute, over here, if your arm's broke, it costs $12,000. Across the street, it's $1,500. And it's the same thing with insulin. And there's different kinds of insulin, but you shouldn't have to, it's like you have to get a second job to pay for your meds, which is insane. And it is life and death. And we've got to do better. We have. And I love this. This is the kind of stuff where I sit there and go, we can sit here and watch people freak out about Trump all day, and some of it's funny, and some of it's ridiculous, and I do have questions about a plane from Qatar, from Qatar. We should all have a little question about some of the meme stuff that they've had, meme coins out there that have made their family some money. I can have some questions about that. I think we all should. That being said, this is a huge benefit to us. This is a massive benefit in more ways than I think people realize. And I think it's now I want to see what it looks like. But it's about damn time. The cost of stuff. Like I said, you can go to Mexico, just literally walk across a bridge from El Paso, right? Or go into, Tijuana, it's still dangerous, but Yuma and stuff, you go over there, and you can go to their little pharmacy and buy stuff that you had needed 12 different prescriptions for here. It cost all these things, and it's at the pharmacy. And it costs virtually nothing. And yet over here, stuff that could be life-saving, ridiculously expensive. Enough. EpiPens, $800 without insurance, $500 with insurance.
Goodness.
That's like you said, life-saving. Life-saving.
Yeah.
But now they're giving out, what are those things that you give for the Narcan? Is that it?
Narcan.
That doesn't cost you anything, right?
Yeah, you can get those free. In fact, they're across Tennessee, they're putting up little dispensaries. Kind of like a soda.
Yeah, like in libraries and stuff like
you,
that, because that's always where that stuff seems to happen.
Yeah, they're just putting them outside places where they know, people will need them.
Yeah,
or where those people are.
Yeah, prescription drugs is one of the things Biden actually tried to tackle. He did try to tackle it a few times. He did.
Yeah,
not gonna lie. I think he tried to get insulin down cheap, but these companies. I mean, remember, big pharma. These are the same companies that got the COVID thing through. These are the same companies who sponsor not our show. I'll tell you that right now. Although if you'd like to, then you know what? Darn you people out there. But you go and look, and how many of these shows out there are sponsored by, Glaxo and, all of these people. It's insane. It's crazy because the money is so massive. And it is massive. Coming up, I've got a hilarious song. Because I got more crazy audio for Ken, but this song will make you guys laugh. Diddy, opening arguments. Oh, and have you done the story about why the birds are exploding in California?
I've seen that, but I have not done it yet.
Yeah, we got to talk
They're
about
exploding.
Because they're drones and they're not real birds.
Well, that's what that's what Chris would say, because none of them are real. But there's one area in California where the birds keep exploding.
Oh, I see.
Yes, we'll talk a little bit about that. You can reach out to us across all of our social media. Now, we're on Twitter. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. Not quite rumbling yet, but we will be soon, I have a feeling. So be prepared for that. So like and subscribe to all of our channels here. Share. It really helps us out here. This is the Chad Benson Show at Super Talk 99.7.
I would have to ask the question, who's making it unsafe? Is it the conservatives or is it the rabid leftists? We all know the answer to that.
The Chris Hand Show, tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon.
And streaming on the Super Talk 99.7 WTN app.
Bulwark Capital. You see what's going on in the market? Are you prepared for the swings? Are you prepared for the trade war potential, the potential of many different things that are going on? What's the rest of the world look like? Well, Bulwark wants to help you with what's going on with tariffs, the potential of tariffs, and the future of wealth this year when it comes to investing and retirement. They're going to have a free webinar. It's called the Tariff Edition. It's Thursday, May 22nd. It is at 5:30 our time. It is free to register with my buddy over at Bulwark. He is awesome, Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer. I want you to check it out and then get a second opinion on what's going on in your retirement account. Have somebody look at it, dissect what's going on, talk about what they can do for you. Lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility, most upside potential. The Tariff Edition of their webinar going on Thursday, May 22nd, 5:30 our time. Register now at knowyourriskradio.com. That's KNOW, yourriskradio.com today. For Bulwark Capital. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Investments involve risk, not a guarantee. Past performance not guarantee future results. Trek 25206.
Well, a man has died after exchanging gunfire with Metro Police. We've got that and more at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
All right, Ken, you ready for a fun song for you?
Let's hear it, dude.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a fun song for Ken.
You got a felony. You got a felony. Man, your road looks tough ahead. Gonna be miles and miles away from your bed. The judge's words repeating in your head. Boy, you got a felony. Yeah, you got a felony.
I love funny people do funny things. You got a felony.
You got a you got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
That's right.
That is correct. So I thought I saw
Randy
that guy.
Newman?
No, that was a human guy.
No. I mean, it was Randy Newman's song, though,
Yeah,
right?
Randy Newman, yeah. You got a friend in me. Wasn't that was in Toy Story? Is that what where it really kind of took off?
Yep.
Got that big following. Speaking of toys, watch out for those drone birds or the real ones.
In the East Bay city of Richmond, along Bernhard Avenue, they have a problem. Birds keep exploding. They land on a certain power line and they're immediately electrocuted. Bird carcasses litter the street.
So when they land and it happens, they just quickly explode, and it's just really violent.
Maximilian Bowling says they've been calling PG&E. They come, they look from the ground and say everything is fine.
We think is that the protector seal or some kind of the sheathing isn't there anymore.
PG&E says it's investigating.
Ow.
It's kind of funny.
Just birds just exploding.
Really? But we don't see anything. Really? Look at all the feathers. You don't think there's a problem here, dude?
Have you ever been nearby whenever that happens?
Yes.
It's startling.
It is.
When it happens.
And then, it's like, I don't get when you come out and there's feathers everywhere, and because I've seen some of the stuff, there's dead birds, and PG&E's like, nothing's happening. Like the birds are committing suicide. They're not. They're not blowing themselves
I
up.
can't take it anymore. I'm going to land on this hot wire.
It is funny, though, because you would think, you'd think they'd learn, but obviously they haven't, because usually they tell each other. Bell almost got attacked by a bird kind of sort of the other day.
Well, no, I was in the way of a bird that was trying to attack something.
And it mocked you, too, because it was a mockingbird.
Yes, it did.
It mocked you. But that would be, I am worried that, if the birds are blowing up, you guys already have kind of a crappy history with fires.
Yes.
Maybe we don't have, blowing up birds that fly somewhere and start a fire. Could you see that? How did it start? Well, a bird caught fire on one of our PG&E things. Then as it was on fire, trying to put itself out in a death spiral, it flew into bushes that were dry.
Yeah.
And then caught fire. Who do you blame in that situation?
It was chasing a butterfly.
The butterfly's about time, right? What do you think of that?
So basically, they're landing on exposed wires.
Yes. That everybody in the neighborhood can see, and then PG comes out and goes, I don't see anything.
We had nothing to see here.
Yeah, there's nothing going on here.
Birds die.
They do. Well, especially ones that aren't real.
Yeah.
I think we already know that, guys.
Or one's trying to commit suicide.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe they got mental illness. You guys thought of that? It's a serious thing amongst the bird community.
Stop stigmatizing things.
Man, they need to check their lines.
Yes. And by the way, the screwworm. How ahead of the game were we with the screwworm, guys? We talked about the screwworm, 3 weeks ago?
That's right.
We warned you the screwworm was coming from Mexico.
And you did nothing.
And yet you did nothing.
Just like the killer bees.
Yep. Just like Jaws. Remember Jaws?
Jaws, yeah.
You knew there was a shark out there. Mrs. Kittner.
That's right.
Go in the water. We dare you.
Yeah. Mrs. Kittner. What's his name say? Mayor Murray?
Yeah.
Murray's like, no, I'm not going to let you do some half-ass autopsy on a fish out here so we can see a little Kittner boy spill out all over the pier. Oh, kids, we'll have more fun stuff. Coming up next hour, Trump gets a new plane, kind of, sort of, maybe. Talk a little bit about that. China, a bunch of other stuff. Reach out to us across all of our social media. Happy Monday, everybody. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
1 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, Metro Police spokesman Don Aaron says 29-year-old Tadarius Hunt, accused of shooting a Nashville Rescue Mission staff member yesterday afternoon, has died after exchanging gunfire this morning with police officers on the Division Street Bridge.
At that point, when he saw that he couldn't get by them, he pulled his gun, opened fire, and shot one of our officers. Thankfully, it's just a graze wound in the leg. After Hunt fired, our officers exchanged shots with him. Hunt was critically wounded here at the scene, was taken to a local hospital where he has now been pronounced deceased.
Aaron says the officer will likely be treated and released from the hospital. Hunt was wanted on an attempted murder charge for the shooting at the Nashville Rescue Mission yesterday. Mission employee Cedric Wilson shot in the parking lot 11 times in the chest and legs as he was leaving work for the day. He's in surgery at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. The mission says Hunt had threatened Wilson earlier in the day when Wilson told everyone to leave the day room so it could be cleaned. The last living American hostage in Gaza has been released by Hamas after direct talks with the U.S. Those are family and friends cheering in Tenafly, New Jersey, the hometown of Edan Alexander. Here's ABC's Jordana Miller back in Jerusalem.
Edan Alexander, he was just 20 years old when he was kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th from his military position. There have been several hostage videos released, the most recent one just in April, where you could see the stress and the fear, anxiety.
A new effort to lower the cost of prescription drugs in this country.
Today, Americans spend 70% more for prescription drugs than we spent in the year 2000. Think of that.
President Trump in the Oval Office this morning signing an executive order that imposes a 30-day deadline for drug makers to lower costs or face a new rule that would limit U.S. drug costs to prices paid overseas. And markets today surging higher on news of the cooling trade tension between the U.S. and China. President Trump this morning.
After productive talks in Geneva, both sides now agreed to reduce the tariffs imposed after April 2nd to 10% for 90 days as negotiators continue on the larger structural issues.
And get ready for your sports drink or breakfast cereal to look a little different. The Federal Register today publishing a new list of approved food color additives. And now, says FDA Commissioner Marty Makary,
we are simply asking American food companies to remove these petroleum-based food colorings and replace them with natural ingredients.
Health advocates have long maintained artificial dyes can cause behavioral problems in some children. The new blue food coloring comes from algae and butterfly pea flower extract, and a white one made from calcium phosphate. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Thunderstruck, baby. We struck it. We got some sort of deal with China. I'm not quite sure what it's a 90-day pause. So we cut it down to 30%. They cut theirs down to 10, and we'll figure out what happens from here. It's a pause, if you will, on the high numbers. Does it last a month? They get mad at each other. Does it go the full 90 days, but somewhere in the middle we come up with something real? I don't know, because it's still negotiation time. And this is it's a good thing. I mean, it is. If that's the road you want to take. I continue to say, I wish he would have done it in a different way if we were really serious about getting away from China. Because I think if China is the threat that and I think a lot of you listening believe, that China is the ultimate threat. They're not in it to be second place. Xi is playing for his legacy. Xi also has the ultimate authority. So I do try to figure out, because I believe that they want to dominate the globe. It's like my thing. They want to win, right? They're in it to win it, kind of. And I think because of that, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to use all the money, because we're still going to purchase from them. We're still going to. They're going to take that money and they're going to continue to build. They're going to continue to try to buy strategic partnerships by leveraging free goodies for, I'm going to do you a favor, but one day I may call upon you, kind of thing. And so we should be looking at it, I think, in how do we completely decouple ourselves from them. And we should have been looking at it for a while. And we'll see. We'll see. I mean, hopefully everything rolls the way it's supposed to. And we can get a vast majority of our people, meaning big companies, like India is already taking on Apple. But here's the thing. If you're Apple, right, and you're moving over to India, and even though things are a little bit better, you don't really want to go somewhere you think there may be a nuclear war. How expensive is your Apple phone now? Very. Because the place blew up is why. So it's finding those strategic partnerships in country that are aligned with the things we want and also are against the people that we are currently working with. Doesn't mean they have to hate them. Just means that they value our way of life, of freedom and things like that, much, much more than the other side. That's simple. Freddie O'Connell, everybody. By the way, he's fun.
This is a tough moment, and I am heartbroken that today many of our neighbors in Nashville are experiencing fear over family separation rather than the safety we all deserve. The trauma inflicted on families is long-lasting, and I'm doing everything in my power consistent with applicable law to protect anyone who calls Nashville home. What's clear today is that people who do not share our values of safety and community have the authority to cause deep community harms. Immigration enforcement is a federal responsibility. MMPD officers are not ICE. What's clear is that federal and state authorities are intent on enforcing immigration law. Their approach is not our understanding of what a Nashville for all of us looks like, and we're grateful to our community partners who make all of our residents feel welcome.
By the way, MMPDs, they're not involved, right? THP is. And, Bell and I were talking about, where can THP pull you over? Where can't they? Where's their jurisdiction? Where isn't it? You had Afton getting pulled over by THP.
Yeah, she actually posted a video of it on her Instagram.
She was texting with Bell earlier.
She was.
Oh, my God. Matt's mad at me. Look, what are you doing? You're following people around filming. Okay, well, that's not illegal, but you got pulled over because you ran a red light. But why? What are you doing? I know you're worried that they're going to come snatch everybody up, but how would you feel today as they sit there and they talk about, listen to the stuff that they want to do, in this situation. So imagine this. If you are somebody who is struggling financially, who's an American, even if you're a green card holder, you're a legal resident, you're not a citizen, and you listen to this.
You can tell this is a first-of-its-kind fund supporting our immigrant and refugee community in moments of crisis, which have been many in that community over the past several weeks. And it will be online today, cfmt.org/belonging.
Federal agents smoked a cigar just feet away from the crowd.
That was so funny.
ICE has not said who was taken into custody, why they were detained, nor were they where they were going.
You got a guy that's just standing there, and he's just got this big cigar, like his boss hog. Hey, there you go, we got them all. But you're gonna come up with a fund to help people who aren't supposed to be here, have come here illegally, and yes, they may be non-violent citizens, but they're here, and they may have no asylum claim whatsoever. May not even have applied for asylum claim because they may have been here for several years, and you're going to go out and do all this. But what about the people that are here that are struggling, and they're listening and go, wait a minute, you're going to pay for their child care, you're going to pay for other things, and you're not going to help us out? What?
We'll be launching a new fund called the Belonging Fund. We want to make sure that the immigrant community in this town knows that we have their back, and the fund will raise dollars that'll support the needs of our immigrant community, especially those who've been affected by the ICE raids yesterday, providing funds to support childcare, transportation, housing assistance.
That stuff just, I can't even believe it.
Assistance, food insecurity, and really anything else that they need.
Why have you been waiting to do this?
Exactly.
Why? I mean, if your heart is so broken, what have you been waiting for?
I know. Why aren't you out there helping out? What about the people that are here, that are born and raised here, that are struggling? Because I see them. I talk to them. Yesterday, I'll tell you guys this story, all right?
Let's hear it, brother.
Okay, so yesterday was Mother's Day. What'd you do for Mother's Day?
Oh, by golly. We had a big old thing.
Tell me.
We just sat around, watched movies.
That sounds like a good thing.
Was that her choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. What'd you guys watch?
We watched that new Wolfman movie with Ruth.
I kind of like it.
I do, too. It was an interesting take. I did not see it this way.
No, it was a very interesting movie. You guys not seen it? Very interesting.
And I can't remember that actress's name. I just called her Ruth because I loved the character she played in. Now I can't remember the.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Guide.
Yeah, she's in several, but she's in a brand new movie getting ready to come out too. She's all over the place.
It was the hillbilly Breaking Bad. They were in Missouri.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what that was called.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
What was the name
Ozark?
of that? Ozark.
That's right.
Yes. What in the world is wrong with me?
So we, so again, we're talking about people like Ken just said, why aren't you doing it earlier for people? Why aren't you doing it for this? So we've had Afton on, and Afton, talks about the corporations and all these kind of things. And what about those people out there that are struggling now? So think about this for a second. Yesterday we ordered food. My wife didn't feel good. So she goes, I don't want to go out because we're going to go out. She's like, let's just get food. So we ordered food from Rise. I think it was called Rise Biscuits. Delicious. Would have been a lot better if it was warm. And I'll tell you why. Not their fault. The lady that came to drop off our food, she took a bike.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought you said she took a bike.
I was getting ready
She
to
might
say.
have. She might have.
She might have.
So my wife says, oh, it's 10 minutes from here. I said, okay, good. 15 minutes later, I go, where is it? She says, still says it's 10 minutes from here. It's not moved, Chad. I'm like, what? It's not moved. And then like 10 minutes after that, she goes, it's still there. She goes, she's trying to get a hold. She goes, I think the lady got hit because they found out she was on a bike.
Oh.
It was like an hour and 20 minutes. Her phone had died, right? She shows up. You can tell that, without being mean, she's made some life choices that maybe haven't been the best.
Right.
But she's trying to do the right thing. Where's her fund to help, out of curiosity? Where's that fund? Right? Where's
Did
that?
you tip her?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Okay,
we gave her a
that's
big
fund.
tip, but her phone had died. She felt horrific about what had happened. She was almost in tears. Where's that fund? Right? Oh, because you're not the voting bloc that you're trying to kiss ass to get. That's what it is. Right? When you worry about, well, they're pulling families apart. Again, somebody got arrested this weekend who's got a family. And you know what? There was nobody at the jail going, you're pulling families apart.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people got arrested this weekend for all kinds of things.
All kinds of mischievousness. Yes. Yes. Again,
it's like you said, dude. It's theater.
It's all theater. None of this has anything. They only care about you for as far as they can see you, and if you are no longer of use to them, they will discard you. But right now, you're of use. And I'm not saying you shouldn't feel sorry for you, but let me tell you something. I think to a person, if you lived in Honduras and you got nothing going on and you got to feed your family, I will walk on hot coals. I will crawl over them to do what I need to do.
Yep, absolutely.
And if the land of the golden goose is over there, I'm going to go golden goose myself until you catch me or don't.
Yep.
And anybody who says different is lying to themselves. That being said, they also know that there could be a knock at the door. They also know that there could be a situation. The difference is, for years, you got pulled over and it was THP or was, it was just anywhere. Whether it was in Memphis or Chattanooga or in Kentucky or Los Angeles, nobody cared because it wasn't ICE and they were looking to buck you. It was just a routine traffic stop and they'd send you on the way. But now with ICE there, it's become something different. And then somebody does a story about, we don't have any people that work for us anymore.
Yeah.
Really? This one guy's like, somebody ordered a drink and I went and I got the drink and then I came back and I just told them, we have to close. We have to close because we don't have anybody that works here. Wait, you mean to tell me everybody that works here is here illegally? At a honky-tonk bar? No offense, guys, but I don't think that's... Come on. Talk about theatrics. Talk about theatrics. It is. It is all theatrics. It's just this weekend when they're in, Newark, right? Like, just trying to break in. Oh, my God.
Hands off me.
You're going to tase me, bro?
Oh, I'm slipping into this fence because I'm pushing my way in.
So, and Freddie's out there doing what? He's appealing because he thinks it's great. Why? Because it's blue here, and you know what? These people are like, oh, we don't want our neighbors to go. Look, right? The little lady down the street is making tortillas, right? Do you want her gone? Probably not. There's a lot of other people I think we can go after first. But this is what happens. And Democrats, it's all on you. Yeah, you did this to yourself. You allowed how many people to come through? You allowed this become an absolute nightmare to the point where even other Democrats going, well, this is a bit too much, right? And now you got to pay for it. Now you have to pay for it. And this is what it is. And you're hearing people going, well, I'm going to self-deport. Okay, and then that's what you're going to do. Others are going to ride it out because the goal is if Trump eventually leaves or they lose the Senate and the House, maybe, just maybe, there'll be something done and we'll be fine. And the other thing, and I've always said this, I think Trump is going to be fine trying to find a pathway for some people to stay here, especially if they've been here for a while, and the DACA kids. But you have to survive that long. And you better make sure, as you say, you've got your asylum papers, you got whatever you need to do.
Yep, have them in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Man, the whole Freddie. Yeah, Freddie, you starting a fund where you're going to go out and pay for other people's child care? Oh, I guarantee you there's a lot of people here that aren't thrilled by that. Even who vote Democrat. Are like, whoa, hold on a second. Then you got California giving out benefits.
Yeah.
Which was something they were always going to do. But you're giving out federal benefits, that changes everything. California, you want to hand out benefits to yourself, you knock yourself out, but you start giving out federal benefits. You're allowing people to do that. That's where you're going to get in trouble. Coming up, a lot of other good stuff still on the way. Should Trump get a free giant palace that floats in the air and will now LARP as Air Force One? We'll talk about that, among other things. It's the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Birch gold. Gold is important. Times of uncertainty, especially with the battle that's going on when it comes to our dollar, the fact that many people are trying to do everything they can to get away from the dollar, the BRICS folks getting ready for their big Rio meeting. What should you do? Gold, that's what. Gold's been around for a while. It's a great way to stabilize your investments, the things you've worked hard for. And holding gold as an asset is incredible. You can take your, say, for instance, your savings. You can move it over to an IRA-backed account, backed by metals, right there, precious metals in your account, which is awesome as well, rather than just sit there. Take a look what Birch can do for you. Text them today to 989898, and you put in Benson, and you send it off. They're going to get you an info kit, let you take a look at all the things to do. No hard sale, none of that stuff. Just smart way to handle business when it comes to protecting all the things you've worked hard for. Text the word Benson now for Birch Gold to 989898 for Birch Gold.
Deadly. Officer-involved shooting in Nashville. An officer injured. That story and more coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Diddy on trial? What? No way. Did he do something? You think? So, Diddy is out there. Today is it. They have opened up the actual trial itself. This is no more. I mean, they're going hardcore.
The prosecution went first, telling the jury Sean Combs to the public was a cultural icon, that he was larger than life, but that there was another side to him, a side that ran a criminal enterprise for 20 years. They went into detail about the drug-fueled sex marathons that they say Combs forced women into, including his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura.
And they're having trouble finding some people that are going to testify. Ken and I are of the belief that he wants to tear it all down. It was everybody to pay the price.
Yeah,
I think he's innocent.
That's where Bell is, because Bell's like, I've been to a lot of those parties. I didn't say anything.
I didn't. I saw nothing that I remember.
That you remember. So what did they find in some of the bottles of stuff? It was like GH.
You mean in the baby lotion?
Yeah, they found all kinds of there was
did they?
drugs inside. I know Costco sells those things.
I hadn't heard that yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's, so, and the defense is going to be, he's just freaky and he hadn't done anything wrong. And being freaky ain't a crime. No, it's not, by the way. Being freaky, drugging people so you can get freaky with them, that's a crime.
Yeah.
Young people doing horrible things to them is a crime. But no, you being a nut and a wackadoo and stuff, I don't care what you do with your life. If you're two consenting adults, knock yourself out. It's the other stuff.
The defense is arguing in their opening statement that the government is trying to turn relationships and choices involving consenting adults into a racketeering case. And they say that will not work. They say to the jury he might appear to be a jerk or mean at times, but that's not what this case is about.
It's not. It's a jerk. It's not what the case is about. He's a jerk. We know he's a jerk. Is he a murderer? Is he a gangster? You know, I mean, I'm always fascinated, like Aaron Hernandez. So you had everything, and all you did was take that money to be a bigger gangster, right? There's many of these people who, you know, their goal is just to get this stuff and to get more power. It was never to be anything than they already weren't. But you had everything going for you. And same thing with Diddy. And I think he's going to blow everything up. Yes, sir.
Suge Knight's probably sitting in his cell going, yeah, who's the big shot now?
Yeah. Suge ever getting out?
Never.
I think Suge's in for life.
Yeah, he's, what was that, attempted murder?
Was that the one he ran over somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
It was
not
either murder or attempted murder, one of the two.
Tried to run over somebody, which is so weird if you're going to do that. Like, in today's world. Like, normally you think, you're going to try to do something sneaky, but it was a reactionary thing, I think, right?
I'm going to do something nobody will see.
Well, it was on the set of Straight Outta Compton, and I think he had issues with the way he was being portrayed in the movie.
No way. No. Was he not portrayed well?
Yeah, he was portrayed
Wait do you see the Vanilla Ice one?
But he shows up to the set, throws a tantrum, and when he decides to speed off, he ran a guy over.
But that guy wasn't involved, though, right?
I think he was a crew member.
Yeah, but he wasn't like it wasn't his idea to portray Shook that way.
No.
It's some guy. It's the best boy, right? It's this. It's
he
the
was like a lighting designer or something.
It's the assistant gaffer. I'll show you guys what a badass I am. Suge Knight. Suge Knight was the real deal, right? That guy was. Same thing with Easy. Easy was the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Suge one time, and it was very
uncomfortable,
intimidating.
He's a big dude.
A very big dude.
He's a large man.
That scene in Straight Outta Compton where, I don't know, somebody had apparently crossed Suge Knight and was basically handcuffed and naked in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That was disturbing.
You don't. That's something like that guy's real. That guy's like a real deal. Like that's but I just again, I don't know I don't know what Puffy's going to be able to say because it's not just the freaky stuff. It's the pictures, the videos, but we forget about this. The guns and the drugs. That alone is enough to put you away forever, and he wouldn't take the deal. The deal, chances are, it was him going to jail for life without the possibility of parole, or with the possibility of parole, and he's probably thinking to himself, screw it. If that's the best I'm going to get, I might as well destroy everybody I can along the way. There's some people who are about to have their lives change, and not for the better. Yeah, they're about to go from A-listers to 456-834-89er.
Well, has anybody come forward to defend Diddy? Any celebrities?
No.
I don't think so.
They're all quiet. Because if you were there at the best you can do is I didn't stay for those parties. I never saw that.
Yeah.
But that's from people who left at midnight kind of thing. The people that stayed after midnight, no, I've not heard a word from any of them because they're getting their ducks in a row.
Didn't LeBron James scrub his ex?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. And now going to allow that video in too with Cassie where he beat up on her.
Yeah, that's right.
LeBron scrubbing his ex account does nothing but make it look like he's hiding something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the internet's forever. Those files are still on the ex servers.
Yes, no doubt. But that Cassie thing with the beating.
Yeah,
I was telling
everybody,
a video is a whole different world. Remember Ray Rice? Ray Rice got a 2-game suspension or whatever from the NFL.
Right.
The video came out. They're like, you can never play football again.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. So imagine what this looks way worse, by the way, way worse. All right, coming up, a lot of other good stuff to talk about, maybe a little bit more on immigration. I do want to get to Trump's flying palace.
It's a beautiful jet.
It's wonderful. It's going to be great for everybody. $400 million. Yeah, I think we should really have a conversation about this. We'll talk about that as well. If you missed any show, shame on you. Grab the podcast, Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
$1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Right now, Percy Priest Elementary School has been evacuated. Channel 4 says after a power line or a power pole fell onto the roof and sparked a fire. Firefighters are on the scene right now. Full forecast in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, a man is dead after exchanging gunfire with cops downtown.
Darius Hunt, who we deemed to be a very dangerous and armed individual, was in this immediate area around Frugal McDougal's and then started to walk up the bridge. It was incumbent on our police officers to stop him. And he made choices that resulted in gunfire from the police after he shot at the officers initially.
That's Metro Nashville Police Department spokesman Don Aaron, who says Tadarius Hunt was wanted for attempted murder charges from yesterday when a Nashville Rescue Mission employee was shot multiple times while leaving work for the day. That employee, Cedric Wilson, was in surgery this morning at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Meanwhile, Officer Clayton Lewis, a 9-year Metro Nashville Police Department veteran, is being treated for a graze wound to his leg from this morning's exchange of gunfire. Officer Lewis is expected to be discharged from the hospital today. U.S. stocks are soaring on news of cooling tensions in the U.S.-China trade war. Both sides have agreed to reduce their tariffs to early February levels for 90 days. The Israeli military says American-Israeli hostage Idan Alexander is now with the Red Cross after being released by Hamas. His friends and family cheering the news back in his hometown of Tenafly, New Jersey. Alexander, the last living American hostage. Hamas is still holding 4 bodies of Americans. And the Food and Drug Administration has taken the first step toward removing petroleum-based coloring from Americans' food. That is the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Tomorrow afternoon and evening, we're still in the 70s, 80s, and near 90s. Wednesday and Thursday, we should get some brief dry time before more rain and storms before the end of the week.
Beacon Capital Management Retirement Ready Toolkit, baby. Let me tell you something. It is not just about dollars and cents. It's about a lot of things. And that's where Beacon comes in. They're local. Call them. Go see them. Shake their hands. Call 615-488-9303 today. You're going to get your free Retirement Ready Toolkit. But when I say it's everything, they're all encompassing, right? Their goal is they want to be it to you. When it comes to healthcare, estate planning, tax planning, they're committed to being your full-service investment advisor. It's what makes Beacon so amazing. So rather than just go with a one and done, talk to Beacon about their all-encompassing way that they can work with you. And when you call 615-488-9303, they're going to get you out a retirement-ready toolkit. So what does it get? Money Enough for Life book, a retirement planning checklist, and a maximizing your retirement income white paper. No cost, no obligation, no pressure. That's what I love about Beacon. Call them today. Tell them I sent you. 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or online at AskBeaconNow.com. The stupid is strong, fellas. And if you don't believe me, this is a lady who went to the store and filmed something about how she needs to get out of this country.
I'm really about to show y'all why we need to move out of America. Look at this. They're selling lion chops. They're taking exotic animals and cutting them up and putting them in our local grocery stores.
Or loin chops. Loin chops, not lion chops. Loin chops.
You have to act stupid and make sure everybody knows you're an idiot.
People, we got to get out of here. This sounds lion chops. I'm like, that's what?
That's right here next to the elephant feet.
What do you say? You're like, Linda. Don't put that out there. No, they're selling, no. Loin. Spell lion for me. Does the loin roar? It's the loin of the jungle. Oh, I love stupid. I'm going to tell you guys this. We're not getting a free $400 million jet for the president, and they're not something on the other side for the other group.
It's known as a palace in the sky. It is. It are only 84 seats on it, by the way. So you can imagine a jumbo jet, 747, 2 levels. This is a 747-8. That's the newest model. It's even bigger than the 747 that is the current Air Force One. It's got, circular staircases. It's got beautiful suites. It's got a lot of gold. It's gorgeous if you like that kind of thing.
It's got gold. No, we shouldn't be getting a gift from Qatar that is $400 million that he will use apparently for 3 years and then put it at his library. Which, that's not going to happen. You ever been to a presidential library?
I never have.
Oh, I've been to Nixon and Reagan's. Because Reagan, obviously, and Nixon was born in Yorba Linda, California. So they have it right where his house was, where he was born as a kid. And it's really neat. And you see the house and you go in, you see, they don't have this Air Force One. They do have the famous, Marine One where he's going out and he's waving and stuff. Yeah. But he didn't get to use that afterwards. That's what's crazy about this. I don't think it's legal.
Sources tell us the Justice Department, the Attorney General was asked by the White House to do a legal review. Would it be legal to accept this gift under these circumstances? And, Pam Bondi, under her name, this justification was written up saying it would be perfectly legal for the president to accept this extraordinarily valuable gift. Let me tell you, there's a lot of doubt about whether or not, in fact, it would be legal.
It's not. I mean, come on. Right? Can we just be honest, right? Nobody gives you $400 million plane and not expect something, right? We're all aware of that. Anybody? Are we good? Do we think that? We think Qatar, whatever you guys want to call it.
It's Qatar, though. It's probably a drop in the bucket to them.
Well, it is a drop in the bucket, but they're expecting something, right? Like if I gave somebody, I don't know, a free car.
Maybe they're just hoping he doesn't get mad at them.
It's possible. It's possible. Hey, we're sorry about the whole thing with Hamas. But still, this is a gift that, apparently somebody, how about the Trojan horse? Let's just talk about that. Yeah, but they're going to sweep it. You don't think they've got stuff that they can try to get around stuff? That would worry me right there. And yes, you know what? I'll be honest. Our planes, Boeing is sucked at delivering the things. They're still way behind. The 2 planes that we have now that are Air Force One, both of those have basically what happens is each one of them, it goes in for service, it seems, almost every other week. Boeing doesn't have a real good record right now. Just point that out to you guys. They've struggled a little bit. But I don't know if this is the answer.
The government of Qatar is prepared to donate a $400 million jumbo jet to the United States Air Force to be used as Air Force One for as long as Donald Trump is president, and then to be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation. By the way, there is no Trump library yet. So this would be something that would be available for the president to use after he leaves office.
Yeah, that's a gift. That's not a gift to the country. That's a gift. And I hope that somebody stands up and says, yeah, you know what, maybe not so much, right? Maybe we look at some other things here when it comes to this. But we'll see. Because, Pam Bondi and everybody said, hey, it's okay. What are they going to say? Right? None of them have the cojones enough to go, hey, maybe no.
Let's not.
Maybe this isn't the thing. And let me ask you this.
Aren't presidents allowed to accept all kinds of gifts? It's just they become the property of the state?
You can get a gift under a certain dollar amount that you can take with you. It's like $400 or something like that. 400 million is not one of those. It's not 400 million.
Well, what I'm saying is even if it was something lesser like a Rolex, he still can't keep that.
No, it goes to your library eventually, and you don't get to wear it, right? Like Trump said, the fact that he could still use this afterwards is a big deal. That's the thing. And it's way nicer. Why? Because the stuff we have is old and antiquated, like everything, like our air traffic control stuff. How antiquated and old is that? I was looking at, I was watching what's his name, Duffy, talking about the fact that some of their stuff is so old they have to buy it on eBay as replacements. Think about that.
That's beyond ridiculous to have to do it that way.
To buy it on eBay. Hey guys, this thing went out. We've got it's like old TVs.
Do you want me to bid or just buy it now?
He should give it to Ukraine. Somebody said, don't take anything that's not made by American hands. I would fear backdoor control. So, and all of these things, and you open the door to, because there's already going to be investigations, and this is what Trump needs to realize. The coin stuff, the crypto stuff that's out there, there's some serious questions about who's making tons of money off of it. Is his family making tons of money off of it? And everybody else being taken for suckers. There's some serious questions to be asked from a lot of this stuff. I don't think he should have a merch. I don't think he should have merch. And I don't think he should get a $400 million plane from a nation that harbored the leaders of Hamas for the last decade. Let's not forget that. Where do you think all of those guys lived? In Qatar or Qatar or Qatar or Qatar? No. So we'll see. We'll see about this. This is hilarious. Got some good audio here from our friends. These are the folks that were fighting the other day, trying to get into the, was it the ICE detention center? Didn't work for them. Fox had a big thing on it.
I just want to run a little bit more of the video of what happened on Friday and then get your take on it. Let's watch for a second. All right, so the members of Congress who were there, it looks like a lot of pushing and shoving going on with ICE agents and other federal officials. They said that they were there for oversight. Congressman, in your experience, does that look like oversight? Does it look like interference, or does it look like grandstanding?
Now, I'm going to go with grandstanding because I don't know if you're aware of this. Politics is performative. Remember when that judge got arrested in Milwaukee? Oh, God, performative. It was spectacular. And by the way, both sides like to do the performance. Both sides. It is so performative. That's exactly what this is. They take these people in, MacGyver and all these people. Oh, my God, we got them now. They want this because they know they're not going to be charged with anything real. It looks great to their potential constituents, which, quite frankly, can't vote for them, but they're hoping one day they can. And it's great to do the thing that matters most in a world of being a celebrity, which is raising your profile for more likes, more clicks, more shares, more opportunity to raise money.
It looks like interference and grandstanding, frankly. I mean, look, obviously Congress has a responsibility of oversight, and certainly I think there are legitimate questions for any member of Congress to ask of officials at ICE and any detention facility. Last year, I went down to the border and toured a facility that was processing illegal immigrants coming into the United States down in Eagle Pass. We all have the ability to do that. But none of us, especially as members of Congress, should be engaged in any type of physical altercation with law enforcement officials. And in the video, you certainly saw at points members of Congress engaged in a physical altercation with.
And I'm going to say this. This wasn't the most athletic group if you're going to get into a physical confrontation. Okay? Like you're not going, I don't know who's going to win this. I knew who was going to win this. I knew. I think we all knew that this would end poorly if they wanted it to.
Law enforcement officials. And that is just unacceptable. No matter what the situation is, if the mayor was being arrested at that moment, you don't interfere with that. You allow the process to play itself out as we would expect every American citizen or anyone here in this country to abide by a law enforcement order.
Which, abiding by a law enforcement order is the right thing to do, but it's not the right thing to do for your Insta and your Twitter and your YouTube and all the other things. Excuse me, your X. I don't want Elon to come after me. He's already mad at me anyways. It's not. This is not about, like anything else. Even the stuff that the Democrats are doing is all pantomime. It's all kabuki theater. They don't care about, they're raising money. It's the feel-good story of virtue signaling with no end result. It's tax write-offs for people who put money up for a fund with zero end result. The end result is going to be what it's going to be. These people are shipped off to Louisiana and some places, and then eventually they're going to go back to their home country. Unless you're a gangster that's really a member of MS-13, I don't think they should be sending you to El Salvador because you haven't done anything wrong there. But that's it. You're here, you're illegal, and unless you have asylum paperwork where you're waiting to be adjudicated in front of a judge, this is what it needs to be. You jumping in there has nothing to do with you trying to save them. I would love to see them. You know what? You're right, guys. Hey, listen, we're going to turn all 150 of these people over to your custody at your house. So you must monitor them for the next several days till they wait their hearings. What do you think they do? But I live in an apartment. No. This is what you want, right?
Got to keep families together.
That's right. And by the way, we're going to allow their families to stay with you guys too. Oh, they would lose their mind. Somebody needs to call some bluffs every once in a while. That's all I'm saying. Coming up. Who knows what else? We got some of your text messages. I do want to talk a little bit about the air traffic controllers, the nightmare that's going on there. Is Newark. The whole thing that's going on in Newark right now is just a nightmare. And we're talking on the ground and in the air. Talk a little bit about that as well. Reach out to us across all our social media. At Chad Benson Show is my Insta, my X, and all the other things. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Prize Picks. It's awesome. How would you like to win 2,000 times your money? It's simple and easy to do. It's above, it's below, it's more, it's less. It's that simple. You're not picking teams, you're picking players, and it is easy to do. You set a lineup, and your first $5 lineup would use my code Chad, and you download the Prize Picks app. You get a $50 bonus immediately in your account, win or lose. Top of that, you get yourself in every time you play a chance to win a VIP trip for two to the basketball championship. It's that simple. So download the app today. Use my code Chad and play your first $5 lineup. And again, it's above, it's below, it's more, it's less. Do you think that Shohei Ohtani's going to, have more than 1.5 hits? Do you think Jason Tatum is going to score more than 22.5 points in a game? That simple and easy to do. You don't have to worry about anything else. Download the app today. Use my code Chad. Get a $50 bonus right now. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be 21, present in Tennessee. Gambling problem, call 1-800-426-2537.
Deadly officer-involved shooting in Nashville. This story and more coming up at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That we're dealing with when so many people are being mass deported or fear it.
Well, I certainly hope so. And from his comments previous to being elected, the Pope, he has made clear what his values and his view of all of that is.
Oh, that's Nancy Pelosi. She's very excited. She thinks this Pope is, well, she thinks this Pope is really going to change everything when it comes to immigration. Have you seen some of the stuff? Remember, as our young friend Headless Bell said, that stuff's forever. And his brothers have tweeted some stuff about Nancy that was not so flattering.
Well, there's not much you can say about her that is.
One of them was, she's a drunk, bleep. Started with a C. Sue. And he's a woke Pope. There's no woke popes. There's not. There's no woke popes. I mean, there's just not. I mean, it's in the sense that are they different than they were many, many moons ago? Probably. The world's changed, right? You're trying to gather as many. It's a business, right? Catholicism in itself, the Pope, it's a business.
And I sent you an article this morning of one of his first moves as Pope is to say that he'll excommunicate any priest that breaks the sanctity of the confessional. And in Washington, they just passed a law stating that if a priest hears a confession of child abuse, they have to report it. And he was like, nope.
Yeah. So, I mean, and like you said, they take that very serious. They didn't say about murder and stuff, but it's a business. Right? And you're trying to get as many followers as possible, as many customers as possible. So and they're going to care about the poor. Shocker to a lot of people. They're going to care about them because it's easier to get other nations to care about them than the Vatican itself. So, very interesting. Somebody asked me if I thought that I was both sidesing it when it comes to the performative side of stuff. No, Republicans can be performative. You don't think they can? Of course they can. I said arresting the judge was kind of performative. Well, she broke a crime. Now they went and got a what's it called? A warrant for her. She could have turned herself in. She could have. But everything's performative now. Whether they're in front of a hearing, right? Like what do we always say? It's always about the person asking the question. Anything real takes place behind closed doors. The rest of it is performative. What can I ask you with my 7 minutes or whatever I get, where 5.5 is me taking up the time to do a grandstanding speech, then ask you a question that may have nothing to do with what I just said, then arguing with you for 90 seconds, then trying to reclaim some of my time because it's about the look. It is. And yes, the Republicans, the Democrats do it more because they're very emotional. As you could hear, no, don't taser me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, there's a video of the Pope at a baseball game. I do remember that. White Sox. He's a Sox fan.
Oh, yeah.
He is a Sox fan through and through. Go Sox. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program on this Monday. A lot of stuff still to get to. Talk a little bit more about China. Is the Southern accent going away? Bell says no. I say
hell no.
Hell no. We'll talk a little bit about that, among other things. You'll be listening to the show. Shame, grab the podcast. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
It is 2 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Channel 4 says Percy Priest Elementary School had to be evacuated after a power line or a power pole fell on top of the building this morning. And sparked a fire. Firefighters responding to the scene. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Also in Nashville, the suspect from the Nashville Rescue Mission parking lot shooting yesterday is dead. Metro Police spokesman Don Aaron says officers encountered Tadarius Hunt near the Frugal McDougal liquor store this morning.
And Hunt this morning decided to pull a gun on police. Actually, according to a witness, was the first to fire on our officers, and then our officers returned his fire.
Now, this was over on the Division Street Bridge. Hunt died at the hospital. Meanwhile, Officer Clayton Lewis, a 9-year MNPD veteran, is being treated at the hospital for a graze wound to his leg, but he's expected to be discharged from the hospital today. Hunt allegedly shot Nashville Rescue Mission employee Cedric Wilson 11 times in the chest and legs as Wilson was leaving work at the mission yesterday. The mission says Wilson had asked everyone to leave the day room so it could be cleaned. Hunt refused and was told if he didn't, police would be called. The mission saying Hunt then waited for Wilson in the parking lot at the end of his shift, and that's when Wilson was shot. U.S. stocks soaring on news of cooling tensions in the U.S.-China trade war, both sides agreeing to reduce their tariffs to where they were in early February for 90 days, a 90-day pause here, and a new effort to lower the cost of prescription drugs. In the Oval Office this morning, President Trump signing an executive order that imposes a 30-day deadline for drug makers to lower costs or face a new rule that would limit U.S. drug costs to prices paid overseas. And renewed hopes of brokering a deal to end the war in Gaza and free all hostages held. Idan Alexander, the last living American hostage, turned over to the Red Cross today. ABC's Ian Panel notes the U.S. brokered Idan's release through negotiations with Hamas.
Just to be clear, he is the last living American hostage. There are other American hostages who we sadly believe may have lost their lives during the fighting or during their captivity, but we're waiting for details on that.
And a Major League Baseball pitcher is shocked by how fans are treating him, more importantly, his family, after a poor performance in Saturday night's game. The criticism is elevated to threat level, and the authorities are looking into it, says Alex Prochet.
Houston Astros pitcher Lance McCullers visibly shaken. McCullers says his 2 young daughters received online death threats after he allowed 7 runs in the first inning of the game against Cincinnati Saturday night.
The Reds went on to win that game 13-9. Now, Major League Baseball is looking into these threats. A team spokesperson says that they've notified Houston police and MLB security.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
We're in the 70s for today. A break in the rain tonight into tomorrow morning, then more showers and storms 10 seconds. Afternoon and evening, we're still in the 70s, 80s, and near 90. Wednesday and Thursday, we should get some brief dry time before more rain and storms for the end of the week.
The Wellness Institute of Nashville. Why don't you call my buddies over there? Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley, 615-246-5009. Or we can check them out on painisbad.com. Right now, big 47 going on. 47% off non-surgical spinal decompression. Okay, that's going on all year in celebration of the president, 47th president. And so there's no pills, there's no spinal creams, there's no magical powers that can do this to get you back up and running. What it is years of experience with technology. You put it together, you have Dr. Ashley, Dr. Mitchell, and the best around. It's about building you something that is going to help your back get back, as I'd like to say, to where it needs to be so you can enjoy life like you haven't in a long time. You go in there, you set a consultation, and that's what it is, right? They're going to examine you. They're going to give you x-rays. You got an MRI, bring them. Then they're going to build a plan that's right for you. If you worry about your back not being back, go over. See Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Ashley at the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Call them now, 615-246-5009. Check them out online at painisbad.com. Happy Monday. Hope all is well with you. A lot of stuff to get to today. Obviously, big deal, big doings in the world of trade. For those of you not keeping score, we've kind of put things, I think, on pause, best way to describe it, for 90 days while we have more talks. But we've gone from 145% tariffs down to 30. They've gone from 100 and something down to 10. And it's the start of something, not the finish, hopefully.
An agreement on a 90-day pause and substantially move down the tariff levels. Both sides on the reciprocal tariffs will move their tariffs down 115%.
115%. So down we head. It's great. But what's it mean long term? We're going to find out. Is this going to help us avoid potentially a recession? It is. It's going to bring a little bit of something, yeah. But we still have to ask the question, what are we doing with China? What's the end game here? I'm a big, okay, you know what? I've always, like, for me, the end game is important. We love to go fight other battles around the globe because it's great money, as we know, for people here. And it's bad for our soldiers. But what do we never have? We're okay at getting into stuff. We're bad at getting out of it. We're bad. Well, okay. Well, what's the end game here with China? It's not just to balance the trade. There's so many things that go into the trade deficits. The fact that our dollar's so strong at times. There's so many things. The fact that we're a consumer-based nation, that we now export services rather than stuff. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But for China, there's more to it. Because they're not our pals. They're not our friends. At best right now, they're not even our frenemies. So what I do still want to know, what is the goal with the U.S.? Is it eventually just getting and decoupling? And everybody's like, well, we don't really want to totally decouple. Well, why not? Why don't we? If this was anybody but Xi, I could absolutely see why. But as long as Xi's in power, the thought of staying there and continuing to take them on in this world of us spending money, them taking it, them building up continuously all the things they possibly can when it comes to the military, them building up their world that includes, goodies around the globe, as well as people that they go and, we're going to build you a hospital in 5,000 wells, and we're not going to charge you anything for it, and you can do whatever you want, knowing that you guys got minerals that we may need, that the world may need. I mean, we've got to be serious. They're not in it to be pals. And it's always been my big thing with China. If we're serious about it, then what are we doing? If we're serious about it. Now, do I think that we're going to go into recession? Probably not. Do I think we could see a little bump in prices here and there? Yeah, because it takes a little while for some of this stuff to work itself out. And remember, this is only 90 days. So 90 days from now, I don't know where we'll be. They could come to a much bigger agreement over the next several days, and they're still going to charge them X amount for a fentanyl kind of, penalty, which is fine with me. But we need to figure out what the long-term goal is. And if it's the hope that eventually Xi's going to die and the next cat's going to come in and be like, hey, that guy was a Mao dude. I'm not any part of that.
And even if they are contrite and they give in to a lot of our demands, we still have to worry about them cheating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, their IPs. They steal everybody. It's not just our IPs. The Globe's IPs are stolen from them. That's it. They love that. That's what they do. Remember, was it BASF? Who was the company that says we don't make what other people make, or TDK, we just make it better? That's China. We don't make anything. We just steal your stuff and make it cheaper and nearly as good. So this is where we are. What is the end game is my question with this. If we think that they are all... Martha McCallum is the only person I have seen ask anybody in the administration for real, hey, do you think they're all these things? No, we don't want to decouple. They're not that. Well, okay, if you think they're all these things, then what are we doing? I think it's a very fair question. I mean, I do. I think it's a fair question to ask. Why would we want to continue to... It's not saying that we don't have a backdoor and some negotiation, doing a couple of things, but why we continue to have anything to do with them where a vast amount of our money and potentially our... How should we say this? Our intellectual property could in any way, shape, or form continue to be sifted away and or stolen so they can enrich themselves. Shouldn't be, that shouldn't be controversial. But for some people it is. Meanwhile, here in Nashville, everything's closed because of ICE.
The fear of ICE raids shuts down food service at some restaurants near Broadway as immigration enforcement continues in the mid-state. Fox 17, I should tell you, could not confirm that ICE was indeed on Music City's busiest stretch this weekend. We did go into many bars and restaurants. I can tell you that concern is real and is having an impact on some businesses.
Okay. Should we all wear ICE jackets? You probably buy them online. Probably made in China.
I'll wear one.
Could you imagine that? Just roll. That's not very... No, it's not. It's not very nice. It isn't, because they're human beings and we don't need to be. But Fox can't confirm any of this stuff, but here's some baloney.
Rumors of ICE entering honky-tonks on Broadway swirled throughout the Strip and online this weekend.
It's just creating this general sense of fear all the time.
Fox 17 went into a list of bars Sunday, but none said they actually encountered ICE in their establishments or had even seen ICE officers in uniform, but all had heard the rumors.
There were rumors flying around about ICE being on Lower Broadway.
It was enough to force 2 restaurants near Broadway to close down their kitchens, not serving customers. Managers tell me some staffers quickly fled after they heard ICE could be nearby.
You guys think that's true? I think ICE is kicking in doors, taking down. But you know what? You got people thinking. You do. I mean, that's a lot of what you do. You get the people thinking, oh, my God, they're going to come and take me away. How long is this going to go on for? I don't know. But I feel like this is as much about, everything's closed because I saw a lot of people down there on Broadway. I see them wandering by, drunk on their way to and from hotels. It doesn't look like they were just getting drunk on the street from buying some at a liquor store.
But it was credible enough that we had to close the restaurant because the back of house staff had to leave. Everyone split.
More than half of our restaurant is not attending right now. So we're currently closed for business.
Fox 17 agreed to keep the names of the restaurants and managers we spoke to concealed.
I had a table that I had sat down and made drinks for, and when it came time to order, I had to come back and tell them, I'm sorry, we're closed. Like, our kitchen is closed.
ICE has partnered with the Tennessee Highway Patrol for the last week, taking more than 100 people into custody as of Friday.
By the way, all my kitchen's closed. Belle and I won't be here tomorrow because of ICE. Ken, you should call in sick, too.
Well, I had to tell my family there'll be no dinner tonight because the kitchen's closed.
ice.
There might be ice in the fridge.
Because there might be. There may be. I saw you earlier interacting with ice, Ken.
That's right.
You did. You grabbed some ice.
I was giving them the what for.
The what for? Oh, lad.
In my opinion, anyone who has come to this country illegally loses any opportunity or chance to become a citizen of this country. It's a criminal act. And so, and when you look at the recent ICE raids, the Trump administration is doing a fantastic job. And you have smugglers, traffickers, individuals with illegal guns.
But critics argue ICE has taken many undocumented, peaceful migrants into custody who were not known gang members or facing any charges.
It's hard for me to see who is helped by any of this. It's just hurting people.
And for a city that runs on the service industry, this is extremely detrimental to us.
Well, somebody said you shouldn't hire people that are here illegally. Here's the thing. You may put somebody through E-Verify, and they may not, in theory, be illegal based on E-Verify because they've got somebody else's identity. And you can't ask them if you're really Joseph Smith, right? So that's illegal. So it's we live in this weird world. And so what do you do, right? What do you do? But I don't think everything was closed. Did you go anywhere that was closed? I doubt it. I doubt it. And how many people do you have working where they had to close everything?
Well, and also it's how do we go from what right now has to be a rumor to businesses having to shut down? There's that many illegals working down on Broadway?
I think so. I mean, that's apparently what they're trying to say.
Guess
No.
so.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. That's it. You know, there's that many people that are here illegally that the entire our honky tonk band, Jose and the Kickers, gone.
And the kick.
Jose and el Kickers. Did you just do a racism? This is so performative. And by the way, this right here is Fox. And they're like, we couldn't verify it. Well, why are you running if you can't verify any of it? Guy's like, I brought somebody a glass of water, and then I was like, I can't. I got to close the whole place.
That's what doesn't make any sense. Well, I thought about it before I filled the glasses up with water. But then I thought maybe things would change by the time I got to their table. But it hadn't.
No, everybody left. I looked in the back. There's nobody here. Not a soul. Not a soul.
It was in the blink of an eye, I tell you.
What are we going to do with ourselves, boys? Everybody's gone. Broadway's shut. Well, that means it's hiring, right?
That means, there's some jobs open.
Yeah, I don't think that's true. Look, this is what everybody wants, right? Because it's great performative art. It's not real. THP is going to do some more of this, and then this will fade away, and they'll go somewhere else for a while. ICE, because again, we're limited with manpower. So that's the other thing, right? ICE isn't going to stay in Nashville forever. They're going to go elsewhere. And so where's that going to be next? I have no idea. But this will happen for a little while. It'll get people thinking, and then maybe you get some people that self-deport, and then when things calm down, then eventually the restaurants in Broadway will reopen.
Yeah.
Eventually Ken's Kitchen will reopen again. The kitchen's closed, guys. Sorry.
Kitchen's closed.
No. Oh, my Lord. It's so incredible.
We have too much ice.
Just a lot of the stuff there that you guys are tweeting or texting we can't say because we'll get in a lot more trouble than Jose and the Kickers.
Oh.
I know, right? Just some of you, settle down. My goodness.
For some reason, that strikes me as funny as in the Blues Brothers whenever they encountered the band, the Good Old Boys.
The Good Old Boys. You guys the Good Old Boys?
We're the Good Old Boys.
Yep. We're them. We play both country and Western. That's what they're saying. Oh, my Lord. Coming up, more stuff. Don't go anywhere. It is the Chad Benson Show. Super Talk 99.7. Oh, kids, let me talk about Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega 369, all this incredible stuff that is there to help your dog. And it's 1 scoop a day of this supplement with live enzymes right on top of it. It's going to change your dog's life. Try a Jumpstart trial bag, a $20 value for free. All it's going to cost you is shipping. It's a few bucks. Then take the 90-day challenge. First 30 days, shinier coat, more energy. By day 60, immune system's improved. They're going to be more limber. Their joints and aches and pains are going to be really subsiding because you're going to have more mobility because of less inflammation, which is awesome. And it's incredible. And then you get to day 90. It's like having a whole new dog, right? Shinier coat, which is going to be thicker. They're going to be energy through the roof, heart health's improved, and digestive tract, you name it. Try a Jumpstart trial bag for free. It's going to help your dog. It's going to save you vet bills. It's incredible. If you love your dogs like I love my dogs, try this now. It's Rough Greens. ruffgreens.com/Chad. Use my code Chad. ruffgreens.com/Chad.
All right, drivers, got a crash reported by police. This is going to be 65 northbound near Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, exit 95. And a deadly officer-involved shooting in Nashville. We've got that and other top stories at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Guys, I've got some of the audio the other night from Jose and the Kickers.
Let's make our escape, so let's go there. As can we stay?
There's an awesome mariachi band that was at the Texas Ranger game.
That does not make the song better.
What do you mean it doesn't make the song better? It's the best Creed's ever sounded.
Oh, man, that's my favorite Creed song.
Can you take me higher? Oh, jeez.
The trumpets, man.
Right? Oh. We have to get a mariachi band to come in here. That would be great. There's a punk band. What are they called? Something Mariachi Bronx. Have you seen them?
No.
They're a punk band, and they all dress up in mariachi outfits.
Yeah.
They rock it.
Well, see, that's one thing about cake. Cake, whoever, I can't remember the guy's name who plays the horns in the band Cake, but he does mariachi.
Oh,
like he made mariachi mainstream rock back in the 90s.
It is. It is. Cake. Cake was a good band. Better than Fish. Which is a stupid band, as we all know. Guys, you and your fish stuff. Good news, guys. Drugs going to get cheaper.
All right.
This is a historic day in America. Presidents have been talking about this idea. It's floated around. But today we are actually seeing an announcement that's going to end this system where Americans are getting taken advantage of. Other countries have been laughing at us. We're paying 10, 12, 15 times more for the same medication. Sometimes medications sold by United States pharma companies. We want pharma companies to thrive. We want pharma companies that do business in the United States to thrive, but we need a level playing field. You know, you mentioned there may be a concern about access to drugs. Well, we currently have an access problem because of these crazy high prices that represent price gouging of Americans selectively, while you can go to other countries and buy these same drugs much cheaper. Imagine you bought a car for $100,000, and then you found out the exact same new car is sold in London for $10,000. It's not right. So this is a historic day in America where we're going to be tackling this problem in this administration.
Dr. Macari right there. Dr. Macari telling it like it is. Cheaper drugs. Fantastic. You guys can come over to my big new plane and see them. I got a free plane from the Qatar people.
You'll have a choice of peanuts or drugs.
Oh, my Lord. No, I'm stoked about cheaper drugs. It's good. We have so many weird things, like with us. So somebody said earlier, Chad, isn't this government getting into free market? No, because it's not free market. Free market is the pharmacies come in and it's crony capitalism. Plus you have the weirdest thing about our drug world is we have these benefit managers. You know what these are? They're the ones who negotiate everything. So it's bizarre. It's like they're a third party that takes a crap ton of money that cost everybody, and there's no need for it. Oh, you do need some of them. Europe has some, but not many. Right? Some Canada has some, but not like we do. You got patent protections, you got R&D, you've got market-based pricing that also, who sets the market? Well, the crony capitalism does. So many of you have texted me earlier. We were talking about, was it insulin, right, guys? So we're talking about insulin. How many people text me and said, I get my insulin for $25. Another person says, I had to pay out of pocket, it was $600. Some people say, I've got insurance, it was only $5. Other people say, I got insurance, it was $125. Again, that also goes back to your insurance. And as Ken put it so eloquently in the first hour, we're talking about life when it comes to stuff like that. Some of you also texting in about Scott Stapp and Creed, saying that he performed at a Predators game and it was very rough. Somebody also said he's rolling over in his grave. I have to remind you, he's not dead.
No, he's alive.
Can you take me high? Such a great. Those guys crushed it.
That was at a Rangers game?
That was at a Rangers game. So, go Rangers. That was best ball. Best ball has been very, very good to me.
Yes, I knew you were going there.
Can you take me high? Man, they had the outfits on and everything. It's phenomenal.
Garrett Morris, man.
He was so awesome.
And to Chike.
Remember the was it Garrett Morris or Eddie Murphy who did that played at the Boy Scout thing with his reggae band, sang the song "You Got to Kill the White People."
That's Garrett Morris.
But buy my record first.
Yes.
Coming up. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of your text messages coming through as well. If you're missing the show, we say shame on you. Shame, Bell, shame.
Shame.
Shame. Those are the Democrats going out yelling at all the ICE officers. Shame. Shame. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes. And here in Nashville, an attempted murder suspect is dead after exchanging gunfire with police officers this morning. Police spokesman Don Aaron says they'd been looking for Tadarius Hunt since a Nashville Rescue Mission employee was shot multiple times as he was leaving work yesterday.
He was very critically wounded. He was shot several times in the upper body and also his legs. He was critical, very critical when he was taken to the hospital yesterday, but he was able to speak to our detectives at the hospital and give information as to who is responsible for that.
And that person, police say, was Hunt, who police say pulled a pistol on officers on the Division Street Bridge this morning. There was an exchange of gunfire after Hunt fired first, according to police, and Hunt died at the hospital. Meanwhile, Officer Clayton Lewis, a 9-year MNPD veteran, is being treated at the hospital for a graze wound to his leg from that exchange. He's expected to be discharged today. U.S. stocks soaring on word that the U.S. and China have paused massive tariffs for 90 days. And as President Trump travels to the Middle East today, Edan Alexander, the last living American hostage held in Gaza, has been released following direct U.S. negotiations with Hamas. Here's Selena Wang.
Trump officials see this as a gesture of goodwill towards the United States, with President Trump saying he sees this as a step in good faith towards ending this broader conflict. We're told that this deal came together in the last couple of days and that all of the officials involved were really holding their breath until the last moment, until they saw that official announcement from Hamas.
A small pest posing a major threat to American agriculture. ABC's Jim Ryan tells us why the Department of Agriculture's halted cattle imports from Mexico.
With its tiny mouth hooks, the New World screwworm latches onto the mucous membranes of cattle, sheep, and goats. It can kill an adult cow in under 2 weeks. A 1976 infestation took out 1.4 million cattle here in Texas. Now the parasite has again made its way north through Mexico. The Agriculture Department has halted all imports of live horses, cattle, and bison across the southern border. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling wants you to know that TVA rebates have been extended. Mail split 17C or 2 or higher, $800 rebate now. Get up to 12 months, no payment, no interest, depending on credit. Lenders offers may vary. See store for details. Busy Bee has rebates on AC tune-up. So $50 rebate for each one. So think about this for a second, right? You join the Beehive Club, which is the smart thing to do. And you get your spring tune-up, $50 rebate, boom, done. Then you get a fall tune-up, $50 rebate, done. You just paid for your Beehive membership. What? That is a win for you. And they handle the rebates for you, so you don't have to do anything. Plus rebates, once they do all that kind of stuff, you get more deals. 30% off ultraviolet home treatment, $300 off outdoor main sewer or water lines, $500 electric heat pump, water heater, or whole home water filtration system. And the great thing, buy one yearly Beehive membership, get another one at equal or lesser value for free. Go to busybee.com plumbing, heating, and cooling. Call now, 775-7833, 775-7833, or busybhvac.com. All right. Exclusive savings now. MyPillow.com/Benson. Use my code Benson. Now check this out. Giza Dream Sheets, Percal bed sheets. No middleman, just huge savings. Mike does this, right? Because Mike's had some issues. Let's be real. They went after him. And he's got big savings direct to you, which is awesome. So the Giza Dream Sheets, 100% Giza cotton, ultra soft, breathable sheets, luxury satin weave is like sleeping on puffy clouds of dollars. It's incredible. Right now, yours, $49.98. Any color, any size. You can even get kings, queens, split kings, cow kings, king, cow, all the big stuff, like little, small, whatever it is, $49.98. Now, here's the thing. When they're gone, they're gone. But my favorite at this time of year starts to warm up, Percal bed sheets. They're crisp, they're cool. And if you're a hot sleeper like me, 100% long staple cotton, super breathable, super fresh, deep pockets, queen size, normally $89.99. Yours, $29.98 right now. Just awesome. So this is what we do. Hurry. This isn't going to last forever. Once they're gone, they're gone. Visit MyPillow.com/Benson. Use promo code Benson to grab these amazing wholesale deals. MyPillow.com/Benson. Use code Benson. Free shipping options available. Man, Scott Stapp is getting crushed on the old text line.
Why's everybody got it in for Scott?
I don't know. He
I
had
like
some problems.
Scott Stapp.
I did too. That song was great.
Oh, yes.
He had a few problems. I think we can all recognize there was a time in his life where maybe
he dabbled in some stuff, some drugs.
He dabbled in it. Tell you what, though, man, playing every night, right? What do you get, like 50 grand to play at the old fair somewhere? 45 grand? There's four of you?
No, they're making a lot more than that.
Still, you think?
Oh, yeah. They're probably getting, I would venture a guess that their guarantee per show is probably $200,000.
Holy mother of goodness and all that matters. So there goes us getting him to play on the Chad Benson Show for free.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be awesome, though, if they came in here? Scott, if you're local or if you're passing through, because you never know who lives here and who doesn't live here, you want to come in, I will let you sing the whole hour. I'll sing with you. We'll see if we can get the mariachi band with you. They were great. That's before the Ice came after him. At the Rangers game. What? No, they didn't, Chad. I know. That would have been horrible. Did he?
Yeah.
Or did he not do it? I'm thinking he did. Allegedly. Man, they're so now get ready for this. You know who's the first person they brought up?
Who?
The guy that runs the Mail Review. Not mail as an M-A-I-L, but mail as an M-A-L-E.
Yeah.
Obviously some sort of group. What's he? Well, he's looking at Forever, which is insane. When you think about each one of them carries Forever. But what's insane is you had everything going. I still don't understand the mindset. So you're a producer that's huge. You're at one time a star, pop star that's massive. You are a mogul when it comes to clothes and records outside of even producing them, but being able to distribute them, have artists. And now you are facing forever in jail because you wanted to be Al Capone on top of being everything else. I don't get the mindset of that. I don't. I remember, I don't know who it was. It was several years ago when one of the Dallas Cowboys got caught with, he was moving weight. This is back when weed was so dangerous.
Oh, yeah. What? Nate Newton.
Yeah, Nate Newton. And I just remember somebody said, dude, these guys, everybody thinks that once they become athletes, this is what it is. No, they're just gangsters now with free time and more money than they've ever dreamed of. So they want to be bigger gangsters. And I was like, oh, damn. Yeah, that's true. Because Nate had he was moving weight. But I go back to, how do you get to that position where that's the thing you want to do? But we live in a weird time. Like the baseball story that you talked about earlier, where they threatened to kill this guy's kids.
Yeah, 2 young daughters because he allowed 7 runs in the first inning.
He struggled. Let's be honest.
It's a bad outing.
It was. It wasn't. I know maybe you bet all of your lunch money, but dude, you're threatening to kill kids? Now, is it from here in America? I don't know. But what the hell's wrong with us? I heard that story. I'm like, wait, you threatened to kill 2 little kids because you gave up 7 runs. I think people are shocked by that. Just because you buy a ticket doesn't mean you get unfettered access to be the worst person on the planet.
Ha! Yeah.
Yeah, you can boo. I had no problems with that. And people say stuff, and online is, as we all know, horrible. You could say hi online, and people say, oh, it's easy for you to say white man. And you know what I say? Let's go there. Let's make out. It's a great song. It was. If you guys didn't hear it, go grab the, I bet it was a Gambler. I would assume so. Oh, yeah, Nate from Busy Bee says we should get Dez to come on because he's filled in for me. Maybe he, too. We'll see if he can play mariachi songs. So
he probably can.
Dez can play anything.
Yeah, he probably can. Diddy's dad was Melvin Combs, of course, lieutenant for Frank Lucas. If you guys don't know anything about Frank Lucas, what was that movie that was Denzel and American Gangster?
Oh, yeah.
And Russell Crowe, where they battled.
Was it American Gangster or was it Training Day?
No, Training Day was him and Ethan Hawke.
Oh, that's right.
But American Gangster was about Frank Lucas, where, if you guys don't know, if that guy was a bad man.
He puts a bullet right in Idris Elba's head right there on the street.
Yeah, he's a bad man. They started bringing drugs home from Vietnam. Remember that? In the bodies of the coffins. That's how bad that guy was.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. But Diddy, I think Diddy is, this is going to be interesting. I want to see who they actually get to come in. And here's the other thing. Your career, like Mike Myers was named in this. There's a few other people that were named, but they're not accused of being at any of these parties. This is kind of stuff that may have happened, things they may have heard, just because you're called. But the people that are going to be called, because there's some stars out there whose names are really on here. What are you doing? Are you trying to turn state's evidence against him? Who's going to hire you after that? Kevin Spacey's like, you think I had it bad, guys?
No doubt.
I saw him in a trailer for a new movie, though.
Kevin Spacey?
Yeah.
Didn't that guy come out and say, no, that never happened?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. But
That's
by then
terrible.
He recanted.
He recanted. But by then your career's destroyed.
He's done.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to touch
His
you.
career's toast, and nobody wants to work with him. And he, at this point, there is no conviction to do with anything to do with that case whatsoever. But he still has to pay the penalty when he wasn't even convicted.
Yeah. What was he was in that movie where they replaced him So it was the movie where Christopher Plummer got an Academy Award nomination. That movie was in the can. When everything came out, they went back and filmed everything with Christopher Plummer.
Wow.
And took him completely out of the movie. Man.
That was during the whole Me Too thing.
Yeah.
And didn't it cause an early shutdown of House of Cards?
It did. Absolutely.
Yeah, he wasn't even allowed, I think, in the last half of the final season or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they blew because they didn't know what to do. It's like, what do you do? We can't work with the guy.
I don't know. Maybe you wait till there's a conviction.
We don't do that anymore.
No, I guess we don't.
We don't. See Jesse Smollett. That was so funny. Jesse Smollett.
Out for a walk. It's just
2 a.m. in the morning in the freezing cold on the way
Did you
to
ever see
Subway.
Chappelle talk about Juicy?
Yes.
That was the funniest thing. We were being quiet because we knew he was lying. When they were asking about why are black people in another.
No, he said we were. What was it? It was something about we were lending him our support because it was clear to us that he was. No, it was eminently clear that he was lying.
Yes, he was. So let me get this right. You're out for a walk in an area where there's probably not a lot of MAGA supporters walking around wearing a red hat, and you left the pretend noose around your neck. Remember that when the police came rather than take it off?
Yes.
And Chappelle goes, find out where Kanye West was.
Oh, Kanye. His new song, by the way, is called Heil Hitler.
Oh, wow.
Where's that on the charts?
It's probably got 500,000 spins already.
Maybe have over 1 million.
Yeah, because
maybe
people are curious.
streams, but there ain't a radio station that's going to touch it.
Oh, no. God, no. Do you, Bill, you being in the industry, do you care about radio station spins anymore? Or is it really only about the Spotify?
Yeah. It's no. It definitely matters because there's still a large chunk of people, and it's shrinking, but there's a large chunk of people that still find new music through radio. But it's nowhere near the weight that it doesn't carry near the weight that it used to.
Yeah.
The spins in terms of streams and what people literally choose to listen to is much more important. And radio looks at that and will often decide, okay, well, I didn't have a lot of confidence in this record, but people are obviously listening to it, so I'll play it. So
Okay.
the streams affect airplay.
Man, that's yeah, because I often wondered the streams themselves seem to be where, because you don't really talk about, because when you listen to Casey, hi, this is Casey Kasem. Still don't know where my head is because my giant wife has hid it from my kids. But when you listen, it's always tabulated by Billboard and record and radio and records, da-da-da. Now it's all Spotify streams for the most part, right?
Well, it's streams in general. It's not just Spotify. But I wonder, and I don't know, this is just me postulating, I wonder if any of the labels have set up server farms to stream their own records.
Oh, that's a great question.
To help impact where they are on the charts.
They would never do that.
They would do it in a heartbeat.
Well, that would mean they'd have to pay their artist.
Well, they get the larger chunk of it anyway for
that's
most
true.
contracts, so they don't care.
It gave me an idea. It's
If
probably not
they're
illegal yet.
paying the artist something, it's because they made something.
It's probably not illegal yet. So if you think that crypto is good, ask Trump, you can buy your own $400 million plane if you do it right. $400 million plane. Some of you were not thrilled by that. I will let you know. Even some of you who support Trump think it's a very bad idea to take a plane from. By the way, this plane from it's a Boeing. So it is still but I don't know if it was made in America or if they put it together over there. Man, those royals. Have you ever seen how the Saudi prince travels? So
it's just unbelievable.
It's the kind of thing where you think, well, like Taylor Swift, oh my God, what a joke all of us are. He'll travel with like 4 747s, of which he has a 747 that carries his escalator with him. So he can escalate up and down so he doesn't have to walk.
Oh, my
God. And there's one time he was driving over. Have you seen it when he has those falcons on the plane? He's got all of these falcons on an airplane sitting on their chairs as they're flying across the globe.
And the falcons are like, I'm not flapping my wings, but I'm flying. It's a miracle.
Yeah, that kind of money is... It is so insane. Like, we can't even imagine that kind of money.
No.
I need to get me one of those.
I need another falcon.
A jet or an actual bird? Both! Bring it to me now! I love
It'll go well with the dire wolves.
I love they'll buy those as soon as they can. You know what's that guy that runs that place said he has gotten so many calls from the Middle East once they said they had dire wolves because they're willing to give you $10 to $15 million to drop in a bucket to get a dire wolf.
Wow.
Because you don't have one. That's why.
Yeah.
You also don't have a Chad Benson show, but we're for sale because that's who we are. Coming up, we're going to wrap up the show. I've seen my man Matt wandering around. He's got a hat on that says Indy. I think it's a race. Is it the Indy? Is it always get the Indy 500 race? I'm not sure. You never know. We'll talk to him straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Holy guacamole. Joining us now, IndyCar driver Matt Murphy.
Well, came off the trailer real good. I felt like the setup was really good for us this weekend, so we're real proud of a top 5 finish. Thank you, Chad.
That's it. I like it. Do you ever watch the Formula One show where they follow them around on Netflix?
I have not.
It is so awesome. It is. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's a lot of money in Formula One.
And you notice that I immediately went to the NASCAR routine because I don't really know the IndyCar. I don't think the IndyCar guys do that. But, yeah, the NASCAR routine is, well, the number 41 Chevrolet came off the truck running real good. We got it tightened up a little bit in the second half of that race, and I feel really good about the Valvoline, Impala, and then they start naming off the sponsors.
It's funny. It's like we're Valvoline and like we're all the stuff. There were STP, all that kind of stuff over there. Like the Rolex Mercedes was really going nice with my Gucci Burberry,
Is there still F1 is it used to be 10 teams, 20 drivers?
I think it's more than that now, but it is. But they still, it's like one of the best young drivers, I think, is 17.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not it's you don't just go and go, I'm going to be this.
No.
No,
that's a little bit of a different world. The IndyCar guys, they're open wheel, but they're not F1. But they were in Birmingham a few years ago, and I went and we got to tour Tony Kanaan's setup, which
cool.
is just. It's like 3 haulers that they park right next to one another. They open doors, and so it becomes this huge complex of offices for the weekend or whatever. And we're in there, and I wasn't thinking anything of it. And they're like touring us around. We're like media, and we're at the car, and they're just showing off the car, and they allowed us to hold the steering wheel, which is $35,000. The steering wheel,
as you do,
the steering wheel. And my news director held the steering wheel, and I just pulled my phone out. I wasn't even thinking anything. And I started to take a picture. Oh, they freaked out. Oh, the freak out ensued. No. Like, because everything it's all proprietary. It's all super secret, right? Like in the world of NASCAR, everything's the same.
Yeah.
And in their world, you can accomplish the same goal 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
And so everything's proprietary. So it was just fun.
It's it's funny. It's as much about the cars, but it's also as much about the drivers in Formula One. And the Formula One thing I always think is neat is you get a supermodel apparently to walk with you with an umbrella.
Oh, sure you do.
To anywhere you go. How cool is that?
Well, I had that all weekend. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's no guy named Bubba, right? It's Miku Ratanuki from Finland, and it's Michael Schumacher. Oh, God rest his soul, even though he's not dead. But these guys are, it's the amount of ridiculous money, and they don't make any money very rarely off this. It's just rich guys and their toys.
Oh, no. Well, now NASCAR is a rich guy sport, right?
Yeah.
The days of the independent race car driver where you could pull a race car off of a hauler and you could actually qualify for a race. It's a $25 million sport now.
Yeah, it's insane.
Insane. There it is. There's your motorsports. Hey, I heard that we have to. I promised I would ask you this question. So I heard we have to give the Statue of Liberty back now.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
You said we can't take gifts from foreign countries.
I didn't say. Somebody else said that.
Well, that I heard.
They said American made. No, they said they can't take anything that's not American made. And I said this plane is American made. It's just made for them.
Right. And why can't Trump take it? That's a great question, Matt.
Well, no, it can go to the Air Force, right? Because that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's if it's a gift, you don't get to take a gift over $400 home with you.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's the issue.
And he said during his press conference today that he wasn't going to.
Yeah. No, it's going to go to the library, which I'll be able to use until the library's up.
No. He was asked specifically the question, will you use it? And he said, no, I won't use it. I have my own plan. I'm going to give it to Barron. Yeah. He gives it to his kid. Yeah.
Which you kid.
Well, you can't do that either. But.
No, but he'll try.
I love it.
Would you really let a $400 million plane sit there never use it? No, of course not. He will push the envelope, which is what he's going to do. Here's my other thing.
Then arrest him.
I feel uncomfortable with a foreign country giving us an airplane for our president to fly around.
Well, I feel more uncomfortable that we can't get Boeing off their ass to fix the problems with Air Force One. And so, if this is a solution, I kind of agree with our president here. What is he supposed to do? Say no?
But it's weird because it's a Boeing plane. That's the thing that's crazy.
Well, they got theirs.
Yeah, of course they did. Because they spent $400 million.
Why is Boeing dragging their feet on Air Force One? That's a question I want to
know. Boeing's had a lot of problems, as we all know. And if you want to fix some of those problems, maybe fix those planes.
You know what? They're too worried about chick pilots. They're too worried about chick pilots, Chad.
Boeing's not.
Sure they are. They're all in it together.
No,
Delta, Boeing, the whole thing.
Boeing's not worried about
They're all in it together.
Boeing just
let me. All right, then I'll amend my statement. They're so worried about chick mechanics.
Oh, look at you, sexism coming up next. Something sure.
I love Gutfeld. Gutfeld's one of the few Fox News shows I still watch.
Yeah.
And I love that he gets those zingers out and then he plays the. Have you ever seen him do it? He'll like say something like that, and then he has a sounder that says, "A sexist would say,"
Yes,
and
totally.
that like absolves him of the joke.
Of course, yeah. Like this, we made a racism earlier.
Well, there you go.
But we didn't. But everybody will say we did.
Sure.
Let's go there because we played because they said everything was closed, and I said Jose and the kickers were gone, right? Because they were scared, and then we played the Creed. Have you seen the mariachi band do Creed?
I have not.
It is amazing.
I have not.
He said, "Let's go there," and it's like, it's just amazing.
Absolutely delicious.
And that was the other night.
So I don't normally frequent Lower Broadway on the weekends, but I was down there on a Saturday night after the Savannah Bananas game, and it did not seem closed. It did not. It seemed like the opposite of closed.
What happens is you ask me for a beverage. I go to get it. I pour the beverage, Matt, and as I come back, I realize I'm the only one working. I had to send everybody home.
I've got to shut her down.
I got to shut her down. Good God. Coming up next, Matt is going to continue kicking Freddie in the grundle.
I am. I've got a lot to say about Freddie and his little minions on the Metro Council.
Running around, doing stuff, filming
All
things.
right.
Good times, everybody. We'll do it again tomorrow. You have a wonderful day.